feels heavy when the truth is treated like a crime. Living honest in a world that forces you to toe the line. They twist the words, they sell the fear. They keep the masses blind. But deep inside the fire's growing, and it's burning through my mind. Purple flame is rising up, no more bending to that game. Anger turns into rebellion, and the rebellion calls my name. Sick of the poison, sick of the chains they wrap around our souls. We've carried this weight too long, now we're ready to let it go. We're coming to life, turning the tide in this crusade for truth. We're coming to life, Chuppies rise together, armed to the teeth with proof. They attack the pack, try to bury what is real, but they're in the vendor now, and they're gonna feel the steel. We're alive tonight. The sword of the word cuts through the dark, lies are being snuffed out. Truth rises up, no more hiding. Hear the righteous shout, alive, alive. God is on our side. They thought they could break us, but the hope inside is louder. Turning the tide in this crusade for truth. We're alive, exposing the lies that corrupt the youth. We're alive tonight. We turn the tide. We're alive. Truth survives.
Hello, everybody. I gotta make that transition more smooth. I used to have like a fade. I think it faded to the channel, but I don't know, it just cuts now. It feels a little abrupt. Hello, welcome. Wednesday Wolfology. Is that what you said to everybody? Hello. Okay, hang on. Something is weird. Something is weird. Sometimes when I connect my model, you have to like recalibrate it because it like looks down too much or something. I don't know. It's kind of odd. Okie dokies. I think we're in business. Hold on a second. Let me pull up my chat window. Happy Wednesday. Wednesday Wolf Day. Let's go. Hello, Zombie Slayer. We on time today, Cher. Yes, we're on time. Well, I was late, but you guys are on time. I was late a few minutes. Oh, hello, Kage. Welcome. Brown woman jump scare. Hey, watch it, Mr. Snark Monkey. It is tan pink. Hello. Okay. let's get started. The first collab was a banger. I love hardcore discussions, especially with Keone. Yeah, Keone is great. We're doing another collab stream in a few weeks. So if you really enjoyed that one, keep an eye out for an announcement for another stream. It'll be kind of the same format, but different stories, and we'll be playing more Warhammer Space Marine 2. So that'll be fun. Okay, there was a ton of stuff that happened in the last few days. Thank you for the subscribing, Essence Thief. Hello. There was a ton of stuff that just happened within the last few days. Also, I'm really trying to work on my ums and my likes, so feel free to bully me about that in the chat. I noticed the past few videos I was saying and like quite a bit, trying to think of something. So yeah, if you hear me doing that, bully me until I stop doing it. There was a ton of stuff that happened in the last few days, and I was compiling a whole bunch of stories. We're going to react to a bunch of stuff like that, news, politics, culture, all that. And also I have a cute little funny vid to show you guys first before we get into it. It's fine. We'd bully you anyway. Get me a Twitch bot so we can make a like counter. Oh, I do need to install some of the Twitch bots. I think the chat bots. There's like a lot of stuff you can do with chat bots. Chat bots. I need to figure out. Okay, we're gonna look at this first because this is just super cute and absolutely adorable. Let me find the correct tab first, though. Okie dokies. Let's do this. I've been listening to this song over and over again this week. It's not it's not a very long song, but it's so cute, and I thought with the wolf theme, anytime I see something that is canine related, I usually pull it up to show you guys. So if you have a dog, you'll probably relate to this, or maybe you've already seen it, but I loved it. It was very cute. Okay, let me scoot this over and scoot my own self. That's not my own self. Here I am. Scoot my own self over. Okie dokie. Doggo trends. Exactly. So it says, things running through my head before 9 a.m. I'll start it from the beginning, and let's make sure my tab sound is up today. Okay. We in business. We're good.
No wreck, no wreck, no wreck, no wreck, no broke toys, no new shoes. I want steak, not dry dog food. Ain't no lie, I don't beg. Rub my belly and I'll shake my leg. Looks so cute, makes no sense. Badass bitch with my dog park friends. No broke toys, no old bones. Give me treats or I'll chew your phone. No wreck, no.
I absolutely love that. That is how I picture dog's internal monologue to be. So hopefully that was relatable to you. But I don't know what kind of dog that is. A little puffball, looks like a clump of, I don't know, dust bunny, pocket dog. Yeah, kind of cool because you could just pick them up and put them right into your pocket and take them with you. So that's adorable. Hello, Vena. How are you doing? Hello, Guardian. I'm doing great today. Happy Wednesday. Okay. So now that we got our daily dose of cuteness, let's look at the first thing that I pulled for today. This was something we were talking about in the Discord a lot the other day. Also, if anybody knows this, feel free to tell me, but I can't figure out how to sign into X on an incognito Brave tab. So I keep getting locked out of looking at replies on stream because I want to do it on an incognito tab. And Gork tried to help me this morning to no avail. So if you know how to do that, let me know, and hopefully I can fix that for next time, because it's nice to be logged in and then you can see all the replies and engagements and not have to like literally send every single link for every subtweet and everything else. Okay, what am I doing? Here we go. So this was kind of a story that broke the other day with Shoe on Head's reply to the ADL. I don't have that tweet up there, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. But basically, the ADL tweeted, a slur doesn't stop being a slur because teenagers started using it. Today's New York Times on language column treats the anti-Semitic slur goyslop as a fun linguistic curiosity rather than what it is, a term rooted in white supremacist conspiracy theories. And Shu had replied to them, criticizing them, and they I don't think they blocked her. They hid her tweet and they locked the reply. So you can even see on here, it says only some accounts can reply near the bottom, which I will always be a big criticizer of people being anti-free speech and censoring. And so big L for the ADL there. The rest of their tweet said, normalizing this kind of language is dangerous. Goy slop is not just edgy slang. It combines goy, the Hebrew word that colloquially refers to non-Jews, with slop to promote a conspiracy theory that Jewish people deliberately poison non-Jews with cheap food to keep them docile. It was coined and spread by the anti-Semites and white supremacists. No amount of teenage adoption changes the origin. Such terms spread negative stereotypes and conspiracy theories. Their normalization is exactly what the bigots who coined the term aspire to. A bit more on this, and they linked to a further post. I did not click on the further post, but like I said, super disagree with them hiding shoe on heads criticism and locking their replies is just always going to be a weak ass move. Now on to someone who blocked me over some criticism, a little bit ironically, criticizing the ADL here. Powdur said, unfortunately, Jewish influence in the U.S. power structures is a leading cause of anti-Semitism. I think to combat anti-Semitism, Jews need to relinquish control over key institutions, media, finance, etc., and we need to cut ties with Israel immediately. Jews should lead by example to stop these awful conspiracy theories, which, was written sarcastically. I credit Powdur to saying with her chest one of her Jew opinions, which was what I had gotten into a reply with her a few weeks ago about not just saying what she actually thinks with, just saying it confidently for others to engage with. So good. But I have a longer kind of take on this whole thing on Powdur's reply and on the ADL tweet in the first place. I'm going to read you because I was in the Discord the other day and responding directly to this with my thoughts. And I took a while thinking about what I actually wanted to say and writing it out. So rather than trying to remember all the individual specifics that I thought out and slap it together, I figured I would just read you my reply from my notes. I had said before, which I just said about the ADL always condemn censorship and they shouldn't have hid Shu's reply and they shouldn't have locked replies. And especially for an organization like the ADL that claims to be free speech. Yes, it's bad and looks out of touch for the ADL to say what they did about Goy slop, and I will give it that. But also, there is truth in there about these IDS people who are hyperfixated on Israel and either vague posting Nazi shit to pander to their audience, which is spreading like wildfire, if you guys haven't noticed that, or B, shielding their IDS with, quote, what? We can't criticize Israel, which I see a lot of people online saying when they say outright things condemning all Jews and then act like, what? We can't criticize Israel, and I'm all for the right to criticize Israel. So not the same thing to equate there. When people like that are going way beyond warranted criticism and using terms like goy slop as part of their rhetoric to cast a wide net well beyond any valid APAC criticism, yes, there's truth in what the ADL is saying there. Now, do I think they should have tweeted it? No. Do I think it's worth focusing on? No. But to dismiss that phrases like goy slop are being accredited to large groups of Jews referring to non-Jews that way is just completely inaccurate and ridiculous. It's not a common thing. And originally the word goy is not it's not a slur like some of the other slurs we have. Can people use it in a slur way? Yes, there's Jews that use it as a slur, but it is not a widespread thing and people are using it that way, let me say. People are painting it as though Jews are using it that way widespread. Powdur's tweet, like I said before, is incredibly sarcastic, as if Jews that are legitimately successful for merited reasons ought to abandon their positions in society because they're the reason for anti-Semitism. Yes, there's a disproportionate amount of Jews in powerful fields, and their IQ advantage combined with their history of literacy explains a lot on that. Are there bad Jews in powerful fields? Of course, but framing matters. I also think it's a childish take to think cutting ties with Israel is a smart decision or even in our best interest, given the Middle East and the threat of Islam, which we will get more into today. I think we should stop foreign monetary influence to our government, but that's not just Israel who does it. Qatar and China and Russia, there's lots of countries that do that. You can even look up the numbers and see that Israel has a smaller monetary influence. And APAC, while I don't think that should be allowed for there to be workarounds for interests of other governments to influence ours, APAC is not the only group that does that. And I have no problem with them not being able to do that. I'm just saying it is a widespread thing that we should eliminate at the policy level all around. I'm glad that Powdur came out and said it more with her chest, like I said already this time. But ironically, and it is a little bit about me on the end of this post, ironically, or at the end of my opinion here, I should say, now I can't even engage with Powdur because she blocked me. So I can't even reply to her tweet because of that, which also renders all of her white knighters' defenses about how she can't engage with me on this subject because she'll get kicked off her platforms completely unfounded, because that was the big pushback that I got in the comment section, that Powdur can't possibly discuss anything related to the Jews because then she'll be deplatformed, and blah, 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 blah wasn't true. So that's basically my take on that. Wanted to touch on it because it was timely, but also because I had my video that I made a few weeks ago and all of that. Let me see if I missed anything from you guys while I was yapping. Wow, first person I've seen use it aside from myself in the wild. All right, then I have nothing. I'm logged in just fine on Twitter to Brave Incog Clear Cache. Maybe. Oh, I tried that and it didn't work. That was one of the things that, what's it called? That was one of the things that Grok recommended, but for some reason that didn't work. I tried turning off the shields, that didn't work. I tried turning off my VPN for a second, that didn't work. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have to look into a different way to go about it. Didn't the ADL get caught for funding racist groups for like the KKK, or am I thinking of different organizations? That was the SPLC, I think somebody else said. For the record, the ADL has lots of L positions, but I think, like I said, the actual root underneath what they were saying isn't completely untrue. I just think it wasn't something worth making a tweet out of, and certainly wasn't something that should have had other people's replies censored over like shoes. I'm really trying not to say guys, okay? I think I'm uncomfortable with the awkward silences, so that's probably why I fill it in with the plants want to split us between pro-Israel and anti-Israel. The reality is that most people just don't carry their way, so won't work outside of meaningless social media comments. I mean, I do think that a lot of people have been indifferent, but I also see a lot of people who are indifferent getting caught up in the wide sweeping Israel doesn't really have a right to defend their own self-interest, and leading into like general anti-Jew sentiment. And I think it's worth pushing back against, which is why that's what I've been doing a lot lately. Powder white niter sweat, says Essence Thief. I just had a bunch of comments on those videos which were trying to make up like all of these excuses for why she could block me, and like arguing that she has the right to block me. And I was like, yeah, I know she has the right to block me. Everybody with an X account has the right to block me. I don't know why you're arguing about the right. I'm arguing that it's a contradiction and looks hypocritical given how she panders and straight up has said that other people block her because they're wrong, basically, and they don't want to admit it. But yeah, I wouldn't cast every Powdur fan as a white knighter, just those ones in the comments that came at me with some massive straw man arguments. SPLC covers racism in the US and anti-woman stuff. ADL covers anti-Semitism. Those are the only two I really know. We can work on the login after stream. It really shouldn't be an issue. Okay, great. Thank you, Cher. I appreciate it. Okay. I'm just making sure that I'm not missing anything weird. Does Rumble chat appear on the stream? Did you fix that? No, because Rumble is not censored. So I don't have Rumble appearing on the stream because I don't have moderation on Rumble right now. And what can happen is if your Rumble chat is against the TOS of the other platforms, then it can. Thank you for the follow, Jordan Pokemon Lover. If you don't have moderation on Rumble and then you put your Rumble chat on stream and then you run it on YouTube and Twitch and it's something way too far over the line of TOS, then it can hurt my YouTube and Twitch channel. So right now Rumble just talks to themselves, sorry. And Kick, I have like a light level of moderation on, which seems to be discriminatory against some people but not others. I'm not really sure why. But yeah, I will look into it again, but that's kind of where I was at with Rumble chat for now. Hey, Ven, can you please turn off ads? It keeps interrupting you, and some I can't skip at all. I thought that I had my ad setting on like a lower setting. Apparently, the ads are supposed to come up on the side of the screen. So tell me if that's happening on YouTube, and I will look into it. Apparently, YouTube ads are supposed to come up on the side and not interrupt the screen or interrupt the stream. So let me know if that's working for you or not, or how that looks. Thank you for the cheer and for the bits, Amtrue. Thank you. I listen to everyone's opinion and views. Some I agree with, some I don't. Pretty simple. I'll be back in a bit. See you later. Venatrix is savage and I love it. Wait, I didn't see where that came from. Rumble getting rowdy. Never. Poor Ferret. Yes, Ferret is discriminated against by Rumble. Oh, that GIF is cursed. Yeah, that's why I kept it. It was so funny. Grok has a mind of its own. So, okay. What else do I got for you guys today? I don't know if you guys have been following this, but there was the shooter in Montreal recently. I think it was 2 or 3 days ago. And crazy that happened because Canada has such strong gun control laws. So I thought they didn't have to worry about stuff like that happening. Psych. I guess that's not true. It cuts out your voice and replaces it with the ad. So I miss what you were saying sometimes. Oh, that's crap. Hang on a second. That's trash. Is that happening to anybody else? With my, what's it called? With my ads on YouTube? That is poopy. I did not know that that was happening. Let me see. Hang on. I have so many things that are trying to accidentally like dox me or share information by accident that I have dodged, that I'm trying to be really careful about what settings I adjust on stream. So I may need to wait to take a quick break to adjust that because I just don't want to like accidentally show any background stuff. Okay, so I apologize in the meantime, but I will look at whatever is going on with the ad situation shortly. Anywho, we're gonna look at the some of the things about the manifesto from the shooter in Montreal. And I saw Michael Tracy, who I believe is on the left. I vaguely remember him from like being on the Jimmy Dore show. I don't know if you guys ever watched that, but when I was more left leaning and when Jimmy was first more anti the way the left was, I watched him a lot, but then he went absolutely crazy with TDS and IDS as well. And so I don't watch him anymore, but I vaguely remember Michael Tracy from there. But he was trying to say that the shooter isn't left or right and it's more complicated and blah, blah, blah. But if you actually look at the manifesto, and I had Grok kind of do like a summary of it and have read some stuff about in the manifesto, but also like from other people about what the shooter was thinking ideologically. The thing is, he was left when it comes to the whole economic system and how society should be structured, and then he wanted what would be considered more right organization for social systems. But the social systems exist within the economic picture, and so overall you could say that he was a person on the left. He doesn't have to have all the exact same social opinions as somebody on the left to overall have a leftist worldview. Let's look at this really fast. This was the summary that I asked Grok to write up of the what's it called, the manifesto. I almost said manifestation. Manifesto, and it's like 111 pages or something like that, so I'm not going to read the whole thing on stream. We'll look through it a little bit, but I thought that this was helpful in kind of just like where the shooter was coming from. This was a very coordinated thing. I'm sorry, premeditated thing for him. And he gets into a lot of the underlying philosophies that led him to his conclusions to do this. And then we're going to listen to a Crowder clip that's also kind of on this and like what men should be doing instead in the face of problems like this. So the shooter's name was Seth Hatfield, and this is from Rebel News. I believe the manifesto is from Rebel News, the manifesto itself, which we'll look at in a second. But this is the summary. I'm trying so hard not to say guys. It's actually really hard. Okay, let me switch to this really fast. Okay. The text addresses the growing issues of male loneliness, isolation, and social degradation in Western societies, particularly among young people under 30. It claims this problem has recently gained acknowledgement, but its true causes and solutions remain obscured. The author aims to provide a scientifically supported explanation focused primarily on Western developed nations while encouraging translation and dissemination to non-Western audiences to highlight Western flaws. So this kind of explains too how he was of a communist worldview and wanting to align with the rest of the world against the West, basically in his solution here, which is interesting because this ties in a lot to the Islamic and leftist alliance, which we're going to talk about as well. I have a really good tweet on that, and also ties into the crazy psycho that we now have in the New York Senate that was just elected. I believe it was yesterday. So anywho, I think I read like just the first section, but foundations, this is a great summary, so we're gonna read this. He established a naturalistic taxonomic view of reality, basically establishing male and female differences. So he differentiates between the leftists who are like there's gender as a social construct, and he takes a more traditional view, I guess you would say, on that. He wants monogamy and traditional structures and stuff like that. He just wants a communist authoritarian surveillance state to enact it. Organisms including vertebrates and humans exhibit sexual dimorphism, distinct male and female physical and behavioral traits rooted in biology. The brain as a physical organism is affected by this dimorphism, leading to consistent sex-based differences in behavior and psychology across populations. Rejects gender as a social construct as a recent fabrication, asserting biological sex gender is a mutable material reality. And so where he's going with this, if I remember from when I was looking at the actual manifesto, is to say that this leads to women acting hypergamous in their current environment, and because there's those sex differences, and that's like what his whole thing is about. I also heard somebody saying that he was going after the CEO of Pornhub in Montreal, but I was just allegedly reported. I don't know. I didn't see like if that was actually true, but could have tied into kind of his attack on the hypergamous situation. His core thesis on male loneliness is that he attributes the crisis primarily to female hypergamy, which is women's tendency to seek higher status partners, and says that this has been enabled by modern conditions like feminism, capitalism, liberalism, women's economic independence, dating apps, pornography, consumerism, and weakened social norms. So the thing is, like, while he may attribute some of the causes accurately here, or the root of these things, like to feminism and women's economic independence and side things like dating apps and all of that. Obviously, his prescription was fucking crazy, twisted, and disgusting, and should be completely condemned by all sides. But it's interesting to see what his little delusion was here that he had. He claims that this leaves most ordinary men without partners, leading to loneliness, while a small number of high status men benefit. He discusses evolutionary biology, sex differences in mate selection, and societal shifts post-industrial revolution feminism. Wasn't he a trans woman? I don't know. I didn't see anything about that. So if you did, if you did, let us know. I hadn't seen that. What a twisted mind. I have to admit, this is a surprising mix of beliefs, but I get it, I suppose. It is an interesting mix of beliefs, but then where he goes with it is off of the rails. Venatrix 1. I'm trying so hard to not say I feel like it's making me talk slowly, but that's okay. That'll be better, right? More composed is good. Oh my god, like seriously, He blames, so this is interesting. He blames bourgeois capitalism. Sorry. When I like this, do you pronounce it bourgeoisie or bourgeois? Bourgeoisie? Isn't bourgeoisie like the people themselves and bourgeois is the descriptor? Anywho, you get what I mean. He blames bourgeoisie, capitalism, liberalism, feminism, and related ideologies for disrupting traditional monogamy and family structures. He argues that these systems promote hedonism, individualism, and hypergamous behavior, exacerbating male disenfranchisement. He draws on historical, philosophical references and critiques contemporary academia media. But what's interesting is then later on, he goes on to basically say, like, his ideology would lead to men who have worked on themselves, have started businesses, have turned their trade into something profitable, have bought a house, have married a woman. He turns all of that, he takes a situation like that and prescribes that the state should still take away that person's property. Like, that's his prescription, is we need to take away the property, no personal property, take away assets like that. It's a very communist answer that he has. His proposed solutions here, I think we'll get into it a little bit more. His post-hypergamy society advocates radical systemic overhaul inspired by Marxist communist ideas, full abolition of the bourgeoisie, private property and nationalism, state centralization of credit, economy, transport, and communication, removal, and also he said something about like China being better at the way that they operate for relationships. But isn't China also having a population crisis because nobody wants to get married either because they're hypergamous there and you need to have like all this money and property? Isn't that also a problem in China? I don't know. I thought he mentioned something like that and it didn't check out as a good example of something we should be looking towards. He advocates for the removal of women from the workforce. I wouldn't be against that part, but like I said, this guy is off of his rocker otherwise. He advocates for the removal of women from the workforce. And for the record, to solve the problems of feminism, I don't think we actually have to fully remove women from the workforce. I just think we need to be serious about preserving women's role as mothers and wives during their most fertile years and not making the workforce come before that. Obviously, having your wife help you with a business, or there's some female-oriented roles in society, part-time work, whatever, work after you have kids that can fit perfectly. But what we're doing right now with feminism is getting in the way of people wanting to get married and have kids as well. The is part of the experience. It's great. China is threatened by demographic collapse due to the one-child policy and declining birth rates amongst couples. China also has an issue with way more men than women, so the competition can get insane. China has been secretly bringing kids to an island? What? It seems to be a problem in all the industrialized nations. Okay. I really want to say the word, guys. I'm not going to. Elimination. Okay, I was like, fuck you here. Elimination of cars. favoring state-controlled transport. Sorry, I forgot to read this part. He wants the removal of women from the workforce, like I said, via automation robots for sedentary jobs to restore economic dependence and monogamy, elimination of cars, favoring state-controlled transport, pornography, dating apps, and heavily restricted altered social media, internet under state surveillance. Okay, revival of working class families through controlled conditions where women rely on marriage for support. So there's like an odd mix of things that would make society better as far as outcome, and then god awful prescriptions that would not get us to that as far as what he wants to do about it. Remove private property and restore female economic dependence on men. How does that work? I don't know how deeply he got into it. Traditional marriage was women helping the husband, not being useless deadweight. Yeah, well, feminism is a complete mindfuck. But he suggests to do this. He suggests an implementation to implement it and enforce. He ingests a vanguard. Wait, you guys might not be able to see this. Oh yeah, you can. A vanguard could seize power gradually or via purges, nationalizing key sectors while concealing full intentions. He calls for liquidation, elimination of the bourgeoisie class and degenerate lumpen elements via forced labor or death. I don't know what degenerate lumpen is supposed to mean. Emphasizes state monitoring, purges of undesirables, and creation of a new order, prioritizing monogamy, male provision, and societal harmony. Ends with strong calls to action against perceived enemies. I also was reading either in here or it might have been... It was either in the manifesto or it was somebody else's tweet talking about how he was anti-Christianity, but also more pro-Islam, which makes a ton of sense. Okay, it's funny. I feel like he should have just become a Muslim with his beliefs, but people like him who have a leftist communist economic view that they want to enact upon the world are aligning with Islam, with Muslims, like has been done before, for the Muslims to just betray them in the future on the social things. Now, this guy didn't want the leftist social things, but like other leftist social things, like with the revolution in Iran. And we're going to talk about that in a second. Before we get into that, I have the actual manifesto, but I wanted to, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I wanted to talk about, I'm trying so hard right now. You're right, Essence. I saw this other tweet that was talking about the left and Islam be united that we'll talk about later. But I wanted to talk about the manifesto because there is something here that is really relevant, and it has to do with horseshoe theory, and it has to do with how you think the world works and what your beliefs are, and it has to do with personal responsibility and why the far left and the far right end up sounding exactly the same as far as coming from a bitter place. Showing it might get me in trouble. What? Why? That's stupid. Fine. Okay. I won't. I'll tell you the parts that I was reading, and then we'll watch the Crowder thing. I don't think there was anything on the first page that was very damning, but thank you for the catch. Gosh, don't you just hate censorship? It's so freaking stupid. What am I doing? Let's move this. We'll just look at Crowder like that for right now. And I'll tell you about the part that I saw before. I actually want to, I'm going to put this down for a second because I want to tell you about the other part and just check that first page. Like I said, I don't really think there was anything on the first page that was anything of note. Basically, it was just the preamble that I had told you guys about before, where he was talking about like how we got here and the male loneliness epidemic. But we're going to listen to the Crowder thing. And what I'm trying to say is there's parts in here where he goes through these Reddit, what are they called? Excerpts from a Reddit thread of women where I think the woman says something to the effect of like, what do you miss most about your man, like when he's not around? For women, I forget what Reddit subreddit it is, but you know, women in relationships. And then Seth, the shooter, proceeds to list a bunch of excerpts of women like describing things that they love about their men, or like hot and heavy like sexual scenes and all of that. And he is putting it in there as like a description of the bitterment and resentment that he's expressing that he feels and the other men like him feel, like as the justification for this kind of behavior. And while I acknowledge that the male loneliness epidemic is absolutely a thing, and there's been a thing throughout history where lots of men don't end up being able to reproduce or have a wife or anything like that. And that absolutely is a massive pain point. And we absolutely have amplified that with hypergamous women and feminism and all of that. There's this idea that men can't get any woman unless they have all the like 6'5", 6 figures, 6-pack type of thing, which is definitely true on dating apps and online and social media and all of that, but does not explain how women actually act all the time in person, on the, what would you say, on the ground in reality, and to act as though there's nothing that somebody could do to make themselves a desirable enough man to attract any woman at all. And men do have way more reasonable standards for women than women have for men, but women will be with men that they find less physically attractive or don't meet all of those things, if they have a good experience and you kind of know how to play that female game in person. If you're putting yourself out there, if you're working out, like you don't have to be the most attractive guy, but if you're trying to improve your body, if you're competent, if you're well spoken, if you have decent hygiene, if you are, doing work that you can do, you don't have to be the richest person ever, but like you're trying in life, and then you put yourself in situations where you're around women IRL, whether that's at church or at doing some sport or whatever, some community thing together. It's not that it makes it easy. It's not that it's not an uphill battle for men, because it is. But there are certainly things that could be done to try to, as like a white pill, is what I would say. And so I think Crowder is going to get into that a little bit more. But obviously, this kind of behavior is not the answer to it. It's not the answer to the suffering. And I think there's also something here too, where people who end up on this kind of nihilistic conclusion, which a lot of people who are Nazis end up with similar, want to punish the world and it's the world's fault and I want to hurt somebody over it conclusions. It's because it's coming up from a place where it's all for naught. It's all for nothing. The suffering is for nothing. And you might as well enact whatever you want to get what you want and hurt others who you perceive having done it to you directly, even if they just happen to be on the other side of the game and they weren't purposely trying to hurt you. And I think that's where the belief in God comes in, because if it's not for nothing, if it's not just this game and we're just here and then it's over, if there is something beyond this, then we have absolutely no idea why we're suffering what we're suffering. You know what I mean? Like, we have no idea what that's going to do to our character. We have no idea what's promised for us in the afterlife. We have no idea why our suffering is so perfectly tailored to our experience. And there's tons of people, there's people that are born without limbs and have awful conditions where they have pain for their entire lives, or people who can't sleep and have like horrific recurring night. There's just endless. There's people who are tortured. There's people like in the Epstein cases. There's cannibal. There's horrible things in life, and that's not to diminish any particular person's suffering, but to say there's a difference in worldview of like, maybe it's leading somewhere. Maybe I ought to try a little bit, or it's for nothing and I ought to get mine and act out of bitterness, and so be it, basically, which ends up happening with the two sides of this extreme horseshoe, is what I'm trying to say. So let's listen to the Crowder segment a little bit. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. It's kind of long, but there is a good chunk of it that's very relevant, where he's going over this and kind of giving his response to it. It really sounds like he's a wound up plant. Men's reaction to this crap is to ignore women and to not date. What he's saying sounds like the liberal lies about what incels are. Not really. Like some other culprits to such things in recent years who believed various liberal versions of conservative things. To me, that is just proof dating apps are anything but. There are way too many women with a story about dating a bum who know just what to say. That's actually a good point. And I feel like I think that if guys who aren't like this crazy blessed alpha, you happen to be born super attractive, into money, or you're super wealthy, over 6 foot, great body, all of that, like you shouldn't even be on a dating app. Like you're just putting yourself on an advantage. It is not, you're not going to find the type of woman who's either even going to take you seriously in the first place or even react to your profile at all. Like I said, I think being out in the wild and having the real life experience and being able to connect with somebody on a deeper level is the place for people who are not like these crazy rare specimens of society, which is not super common. Okay. Let's switch to the. I really did want to show parts of the manifesto. It was quite interesting, but you guys are probably right that it's better to not. Okay. Let's switch to the Crowder video. Okie dokes. This was right after the shooting happened. Let me make it a little bit smaller. I think he published this yesterday or 2 days ago. And also another lesson in why we shouldn't have female cops, especially on the front lines of things like this. I'm gonna be honest, you ain't even gotta be good looking. Confident and funny will carry you 70% of the way. Women do really like confidence and being funny. I'm just saying, if you aren't like genetically blessed with the most handsome face ever, I'm somebody who firmly believes unless you have some like crazy type of birth defect or been in some accident where your face got totally messed up, if you put on some muscle and exercise, man or woman, you move yourself into a category of like you are baseline above the level of attractive. You are hot, you are maybe not the hottest, but you get what I'm saying. Like, not like you are able to move yourself into a category of basic, attractive, good looking, like people want to be with you type of category. And you don't need to be the hottest upper echelon of society model to be able to attract the opposite sex attention, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, men react to the conclusion in various ways. Violence externally in one group, violence targeted at self as another, judging by the stats. Hello, Drunken Ferret. Hi, Ven and y'all. I'm alert because gotta do something, so hope I can catch some of the rest of the stream if I make it back. Anyway, have a good stream, y'all. Crowder's crew does a good job in this one, but one of their common mistakes is blaming men not being manly enough is why men aren't getting married. Basically the inverse of what's going on in relationships and dating. As far as I'm concerned, and I did listen to some parts of this before, I just want to listen to it all more thoroughly again. I think that if you're taking personal responsibility, you have to take personal responsibility first and try to do what you can to improve yourself, like be your best self, even if that sounds cliche. And then you can say, but yes, there are still these external factors in society that are to blame for this overall being a fucked situation. We can do that with the job market, with the dating market, with healthcare outcomes, with all of that. I did hear something in here about Crowder saying, like, I forget exactly what it was, but any man should be able to, have a combined lift weight of 1,000 pounds on the 3 big compound lifts. And it's like, is that true though? If you're like a smaller guy, I don't know if that's totally accurate. So it may have been a tiny bit biased, but I think the general sentiment of what he was saying here is good. Okay, let's take a listen.
We've put women into positions where they just biologically are incapable
He's talking
of,
about the cop,
at
the
large,
female cop for this one,
being as effective as men. The result? More people die. More accidents happen. More lapses in judgment. Just the injury rates alone. Like if you look at females in the Army, they're 67% more likely to be discharged for some type of physical injury, musculoskeletal disorder. If you look at, that's in the Army specifically.
No, says Snark Monkey, I mean that they see men as the singular reason. The reality is that men have little reason to get married and so just aren't dating. The risk is too high and the modern relationships are basically redundant. Oh, I get what you're saying. I have to listen to this part again. I don't know if that's what I would take away from Crowder's views, but I will say I've heard other people like Matt Walsh and other conservative men acting like men should just get married and have kids anyways, as if there's no problem currently going on in the dating market that men need to guard themselves against. And I would say, like, I've become a big supporter of prenups, and I think that every man should push for that. It's a great way to filter out a woman if you suggest that. And I mean a prenup written right down to like what exactly will happen if we break up, how are we splitting up, X, Y, or Z. I think that is a great test for how the woman that you're with reacts to that. So yeah, when people make it all about it being men's fault that they don't want to get married and not acknowledging the current circumstance, the no fault marriage laws and all of that, yeah, I don't think that's right. But like I said, I have to listen to this again. I'm not sure if that's what I took away from Crowder saying that as a caveat. Plains Crusader. Oh, hello, Plains Crusader. Welcome. I don't know if I'd say equal. I'd put more on women, but men deserve more than is often assigned on the male side. We can only lose half our life's money. No big deal. If a woman will not sit down with a lawyer to work out a prenup, then them's the breaks. Did you mean then hit the brakes? My mother used to tell me girls who are evil and out to get you. Girls are evil and out to get you.
If you look at Marine females, 100% more likely to be injured while bearing loads.
Them's the breaks. It's a saying. I've never heard that before. Thank you for educating me.
What are we doing here? I've been talking about this for a very long time, and
I've seen so many videos of female cops just completely shutting down in the moment, and it's like, why did we even put them in this situation in the first place? I'm okay with female cops maybe as backup or handling the social situations when you would send CPS or something, but sending a female cop to go out to pull somebody over on their own on the side of the road or to react to a weapon or to react to a shooting like this is absolutely insane.
One of those situations where when I talk with people in real life,
oh, it's also brakes. Yeah, because I was like, wait, pump the brakes? Like in the car? Like stop the relationship? I'm so glad I'm not in the dating market, says Purple Guy. Mandatory prenups and baby DNA tests.
It's incredibly rare to even hear a woman go, well, I think that women should be cops. I think that women should be on the front line. So you're going, who is pushing this?
Who thinks that? No one.
Let alone, it's now the norm.
Yeah, it's always about being allowed to do something. It's like, should we look a little bit past that? Like, do we really want that? So let's take this female cop.
She's more likely to use deadly force than physical force. Well, yeah, because that comes down to her biology. She has more to protect, and sorry, that's going to be hardwired into us. And so to put somebody that is more vulnerable on the front line, where they have more incentive to use more force, to use deadly force, because they have more biologically to protect, and that's what's wired into their system. Like, we're really going to try to out-train that? I don't even think we can out-train that.
I think she's probably going to be a very, let me put it this way. She's almost 100% going to be less safe around other people in this situation. She's not going to be able to secure people easily. She's not going to be able to subdue a suspect or cover her partner as well. Not. Even if it's a 7 to 10% difference, that's enough, right, in this situation. So it's bad for her, and it's bad for everybody else. I don't want to put her in that situation on top of everybody else in that situation.
I'm going to skip forward a little bit because I wanted to get more into the manifesto part, and I think they're kind of just talking about that for now. So let's see if it's here.
Dude, what do you want from me?
The stretchy maternity flight suits. Yeah, let's spend a few $1 billion on that, call it progress. But we do all have to bear the load of taxes, which sucks. Luckily, there's help out there with Tax Network USA. Dios mío.
Okay, it isn't about more to protect. It's that they have to resort to lethal force much more quickly because that they can't counter mid-levels of force like a man can. Well, I think that's absolutely true, what you said. I do think that there's more to protect, like biologically, as far as when it goes into having a fast reaction to something, an automatic reaction. But I agree with you that they can't counter mid-levels of force like a man can. Sorry, we're skipping this part. We're skipping it.
Relief. 52% top marginal tax rate that kicks in.
Pretty cool, but a lot
to know the motivation because present it. It's not being talked about a lot in American media. That's pretty telling. But even in Canadian media, they will black out certain aspects. So let me just give you the short end of it. The shooter is a communist. Now, he's a communist who's also a black pillar. So they'll try and say he's an incel. They'll try and say he's part of the red pill community. They'll try and say he's part of the manosphere. This person is a communist. He is a Marxist. He's a self-avowed Marxist-Leninist. And he argues that male romance, sexual romantic deprivation are the byproducts of capitalism. So let me read this to you. He says, put it quite simply, capitalism is a system based on the continual profit of a select few people
Right, that's what I was telling you
are
guys.
the bourgeois class, and it was ultimately the
I guess it's bourgeois.
case that the widespread practice of monogamy simply proved to be less monetarily profitable for the bourgeois than hypergamy did. So he's a communist, he's a Marxist. Okay. Then this idea of blackpilling of people who are, actually anti-woman, not people who believe in complementary gender roles, not people who believe in the nuclear family, who believe in traditional views of women and men, but people who have become soured and actually have disdain for women. That's found on both the left and the right, to be clear. That's not a political issue. What is a political
And it's funny because this is something that the left absolutely hates and modern women absolutely hate. But the thing is, women reflect the men around them. That's why women need to be raised by good fathers, need good brothers, need good husbands. Because, like I've said before, these are generalities, but there's a general difference in how men are wired and how women are wired. And men are wired to be more rational, to solve problems. And sometimes they don't do that. And sometimes they're emotional and they fly off the rails and whatever. But there's a general tendency of men to care more about rationality. And women are very centered on their own internal experience because that's what helps with making and birthing and raising babies. And so women can definitely get a grip on their emotions more. But, blah, 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 sorry. Can one of the mods look at the chat and kick and maybe see if that looks like it's a scam? Nobody click on that link, okay? Looks a little sketchy if it came up for you. Anywho, what was I gonna say? Stupid scammer interrupting my train of thought. But women can get a grip on their emotions more when they especially when they have a man who is like kind of keeping them in line. And that's something that people don't like to hear. And, that can be good fathering. That can be being able to tell your female, whether it's girlfriend or wife, no, and like demanding respect and having standards and not accepting her treating you badly and all of that. There's lots of different ways that can look. But the point being is women can improve oftentimes. They start out better when they have good men, charactered men in their lives. And so this idea of being blackpilled on women as if like they're just like this and they can't be helped just isn't true. Like if you look at traditional women, they're not like this. They weren't like this. That's not how they were raised. That's not what's tolerated from their husbands. And they don't turn out like modern women. And so, yeah. It's a kick thing. I can't delete it. That's poop. Okay, it looked like a scam to me, but if it's kick, that's fine. I don't know. Looked a little bit sketchy.
issue is radical Marxism, communism, that is distinctly left. You will find plenty of people on the left and the right who are, to use whatever term you want to, misogynist, whatever. So they'll try and attribute this to the right. Don't allow that to happen. Here's something that he writes, and I will say this is, it's very reflective of a lot of these people on the Marxist right. It's nihilism.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it, right?
It is nihilism.
Our big gripe with the left has always been, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. It must be some cabal of people. It's the government who has to, there's nothing you can do. You can't work harder. There's no way to improve your circumstance. You need a bailout. You need some kind of a grant. Now you see that on the right. They have a different boogeyman. These people are not on the right. It could be Israel. It could be Epstein, could be Elon Musk, could be tech bros. Not to say there aren't legitimate gripes with all of those people, but it comes down.
Right, and I think that's a distinguishing fact too. We can have gripes with those people, but I think what defines the conservative mind is personally, my gripes with government and with big corporations and all of this is not that I want them to do something for me. I don't want them to give me something. I want them to get the fuck out of the way and stop compromising my and other people like me, like our ability to take personal responsibility. If you think about all of the regulations, if you think about how hard it is to set up a home business or a small business and how much you have to pay to do that, and how you're going to be mandated to do X, Y, and Z by the government, and how corporations are going to become monopolies that somehow compete. I'm sorry, not compete, somehow get together, lobby the government and make it so you're mandated to buy things or to do things to your property or to your car or whatever it is. I think the difference is from the conservative perspective, the criticism is get the fuck out of the economy, stop making it harder for me to take care of myself and personal responsibility. Whereas the kind of nihilist and also leftist worldview is to say, I can't fix this because it's all happening to me. I need the government to provide income. I need the government to provide safety nets. I need the government to provide food stamps, whatever it is kind of situation.
There's nothing you can do to improve your circumstances? That's why the Marxist right. That's where the horseshoe takes place. My life sucks and none of it is my fault. Some of it isn't your fault. How you deal with it is entirely your responsibility. So here's what he wrote.
And that's also something that's uniquely a Christian perspective too, is it's not about what's happening, it's how you deal with it. I know there's other people that say that, and I think pagans probably also have kind of a perspective like that. It just depends on to what end. But the idea of, at least as far as I understand it, and a lot of other Christians I think will vet for this too, is the idea of Jesus being crucified on the cross and going through absolute torture is like, even then, even under those circumstances, yes, still having faith that it is for something, still believing in the ultimate structure. You get what I'm saying? And so the idea that it is, how did he just phrase it? Let's see.
That's where the horseshoe takes place. It must be some cabal of people. It's right, the government who has to. There's nothing you can do. You can't work harder. There's no way to improve your circumstance. You need a bailout. You need some kind of a grant. Now you see that on the right. They have a different boogeyman. These people are not on the right. It could be Israel. It could be Epstein. Could be Elon Musk. Could be tech bros. Not to say there aren't legitimate gripes with all of those people, but it comes down, there's nothing you can do to improve your circumstances. That's why.
Oh, he was saying it's not what happens to you, it's how you deal with it.
The Marxist right. That's where the horseshoe takes place. My life sucks and none of it is my fault. Some of it isn't your fault. How you deal with it is entirely your responsibility. So here's what he wrote. To obtain this female intimacy, the common male seeks to improve himself. The avenues of improvement which these males enter are those which are laid out openly in Western society for any male wishing to socially advance. Namely, things along the lines of becoming wealthier, becoming more cultured, lifting weights, acting more confidently, dressing better, and other similar things which do not alter the core factors that truly decide male attractiveness, which are tall height, just say height, the handsome to that. But again, there's nothing you can do. You're going to tell me that you will not increase your odds if you actually want a mate, if you actually want to find a wife, and a man who finds a wife finds that which is good. You mean to tell me
it gets really out of sync here? I don't know why it does that. I think it might be on there.
That getting in better shape? You mean to tell me that basic grooming principles? You mean to tell me that being successful in your professional endeavors? Yeah. You mean to tell me that being more disciplined?
Just bear with it that it's out of sync.
Being more articulate, being more confident, having more to offer will improve your chances none if you're short?
Right, like that there's no chance.
It's just not true. Sure, there will be some limitations. It's like saying, hey, your professional endeavors, you mean to tell me that being more disciplined, being more articulate, being more confident, having more to offer will improve your chances none if you're short? It's just not true. Sure, there will be some limitations. It's like saying, hey, you can never be Floyd Mayweather. You can never be Tyson Fury. You can never be Conor McGregor because they have gifts from God. Sure, but you can't become any more capable at defending yourself?
Right.
Let's eliminate world champion. Let's eliminate Chads, the 6'5", 7-figure incomes, right? Who just have perfect symmetry. Let's eliminate that. Let's eliminate the world champions. You don't think that you can make yourself better than 99% of the population? Let's reduce it. 90? 80?
I mean, women that won't take anyone under 6 foot are the ones you probably don't want anyway.
Here's how you know this person is a leftist. They haven't put in the work if that's what they believe. This is also why it's very, very important for young men to fail and to build themselves up. It's the only way to build actual confidence. And so this is an epidemic of no red pens. This is an epidemic of equalizing the soccer score so that no one's feelings are hurt. Because the only way a young male can develop self-confidence is to get really, really good at something. Any young man who started off unable to bench press the bar and made it to 3 plates, any young man who wouldn't be able to go for a jog without getting winded because they were obese and then got down to 12% body fat, was healthier, able to play with his kids. Any man who's ever become strong, who has ever progressed through years and had something to show for it, will tell you that this is untrue. We don't have enough young men doing that. And so they just say, none of it means that, none of it's going to make a difference.
Yeah. And also, how long did he try? Do we know the age of the shooter right now? Is that something that was given out? I love if they can have that, bring it in. But how many years did you go through this process? How many decades did you go through the process of trying to make yourself better, trying to find good things in life to do, to become?
I think that's also something that is a tough pill that, gosh, I'm so glad I'm not a guy. I would have hated being a teenager as a guy. I mean, being a teenager is rough in general, but just I feel for young men and teenage boys growing up right now and having to realize that, like, you might not be an attractive male to women until you're 35 or 40. And by focusing on the things that are good for your life, like maybe you go into the military, or maybe you start a business, maybe you become really good at something like jujitsu, or I don't know, some type of skill or whatever it is in your community, and work on your physical fitness and get some experience where you can with women, but not focus on simping for a woman who doesn't want you, then I think you have the highest chance of making yourself a desirable man later on. But wow, like, would that be hard for a younger guy filled with hormones and desires and all of that to have to put that on hold for later, which I think is kind of what Gerald is not saying here, but the story that he's painting of having to wait a long time before even getting to the point of finding a woman.
Become a more attractive mate to potentially somebody else. How often did you say, I'm not giving up? Like, because when I found my wife, I believe I was 38 years old when we met.
Yeah.
Not ideal. And I'm 6'4". I played college football. I had my own business at the time. I worked in wine. That's like,
yeah,
the
get
perfect
ladies
thing.
drunk. It's easy.
Yeah, that's not what
Everything's
I'm saying at all.
easier
Yeah,
after a
give
little
them
bit
of
of
cheese.
after a little bit of yellowtail.
You know, it's a little bit. It's kind of a cool. So, but you can fail for a lot of different reasons, and you can fail for a very long time.
This might be part of why people are pushed towards college. It cripples most men's time to build themselves up throughout the college years and maybe a year or two afterward to get a job. That's actually a great point. I think college is generally awful for everyone, unless you're going into a very specific technical field, STEM, or to be a brain surgeon or something very technically advanced. That training like that in a structured way is important. Otherwise than that, I think it wastes women's fertile years and they act like whores generally. And you're right, it does occupy a lot of men's time during those formative years.
It's this idea that, okay, well, I'm failing at this stuff, and so instead of trying to get better, instead of persevering, I'm just going to say that the world is terrible and I'm going to go shoot people because of it.
Well, you know, here's a good example. And I say this, I don't say this to pat myself on the back, I say it to praise you. Gerald is a freak athlete, okay? Gerald was so good at football that other kids were actually recruited to D1 schools because every major D1 school that you'd want to join in the country was recruiting Gerald. Gerald, that's a statement of fact, right? You went to Notre Dame.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Okay.
I didn't do a whole lot.
You have one of the fastest shuttle runs there, too, for a guy your size. I am by no means any type of genetic athlete. I didn't get it. That being said, we also went in a few times you were training and grappling. Yeah. And I knew that with a year's training, you'd be a problem, but it would maybe take 30 seconds for me to handle you on any given day in that endeavor.
We
right?
did it once.
We did it once, but with your natural gifts, right? In other words, I'm able to surpass. I will never be as good as you would be had you trained that because of your genetic gifts. I will be better than 90% of the population.
Yeah.
That makes a difference if we're now talking about the odds out with the general public and I have to defend myself. I'm not a world beater by any means. I never would say that I am. But to say it makes no difference?
Right.
So I'd like to actually here offer you guys some hope. And this is where we never want to leave you hanging. It's time for solutions. Okay, first one. Get women out of combat and police roles. Just on a
Agreed.
pragmatic level. And I've been saying this for a very long time. We have seen too many incidents like this.
Yeah.
Negligent discharges, women panicking.
Get them out of there.
Let's have women do things at which they excel more. We need to start getting back to, no, men are better at this. That's okay. And then as far as you, if you are someone who they would label incel, black pillar, look.
But if you become a poacher, you screw over the next generation even more. Oh, talking about how older men will go for younger women. But okay, but I feel like the problem is there. We need to accept that slightly older men and younger women have always gone together, right? Like, isn't it okay? Hasn't that always been the case where like a 30-year-old will marry a 20-year-old? Like, I think it's crazy that we have this like pedophilic taboo about that. Because in that case, it's not screwing over the younger generation. It's just saying that that's going to be when a man is at his prime. And so he's going to then date or marry a younger woman. And then when the younger men are at their prime, they're going to do the same. So doesn't that not have to unbalance things? I'm in the process of leveling up now. Good job, Imagine Gyarados. Gyarados.
It's not complicated. Work on yourself. Spiritually, mentally, physically, and get involved in activities with the kinds of people who are closest to the type of person you want to be.
Such good advice.
I'll often see this with young people going like, yeah, well, you know, we're no longer a Christian nation. And what are you doing? You're at home playing video games. You're not plugged in with a church. I tried that fitness racket. Well, why aren't you at a gym? This is what people do. It's all,
I imagined like a tennis racket, but it's you do some kind of weird fitness exercise with it.
Yeah.
Like you're riding it like one of those little pony broomsticks.
Anyone
Sorry,
out there? No, I
didn't mean to derail you there.
Anyone out there, let's go spiritually. Anyone out there, comment below. Really, this may be helpful for people watching right now. You ever go through like a Bible in a year? You ever do that? I've done it a few times. And then also just done individual Bible studies. You ever have an aha moment when you're reading the Bible and you go, oh, wow.
I actually want to do that, but I'm such a squirrel brain that I always skip around. I would like to read the Bible and read each section and then stop and be able to think about it. Like, what would you say? I mean, I guess that's considered a Bible study, but, you know, it takes some time to get through it.
And you highlight it. Now add that up hundreds of times and reread the scripture. Do you live by that? Has it improved your life? Has it improved your relationship? That's measurable progress. Mentally, you ever have times where you lose control when you're young, right? You spaz out, temper tantrum. You ever improve it? You ever learn to control yourself a little bit better? You ever, actually just mentally, you ever create a schedule or a routine and stick with it when you didn't have it before? Were you mentally better off? Comment below. These things help. You ever lift a weight? It was really heavy and difficult. 2 years later, that's your warm-up. You ever go through that? Anyone who's experienced this, I've experienced all of those, by the way. Can anyone say that those are not defining moments, let alone they don't make a difference?
And in general, the boomer fathers were horrible at encouraging stuff like this. I think that's also a massive reason why we have the current situation that we have. Because for both men and women, a good father, a strong masculine presence is really important. And the boomers were super lacking in that because their generation was just throwing a bunch of fucking money so they could be unattractive and round-looking, generally unattractive, round-looking, work any old job and get married and have kids and not ever realize the importance of improving yourself. So then their own kids were fucked when it came to a competitive market.
I'll tell you a story with my lady. Again, we were at the water park and my dad was there with the kids and he was, because after surgery, I'm not allowed to throw them. Like, throw me. I'm like, Dad, even though you're well into your 60s, you can do it. I'm not allowed to lift anything right now. Yeah. And he was just launching them to the point where, you know, he had the whistle blown by the lifeguard and he's like, shut up.
Yeah.
I can imagine it. We went to that inflatable park that one time.
And
your dad got talked to by the teenage referees like 3 times.
I know.
Like, hey, you can't be doing that. And he's like,
I think that's what he likes about being older now. He just figures they'll keep asking him but not do anything.
No, they didn't do anything.
Like,
and the kids are fine. Yeah.
Come on, I'm older. And they're like, yeah, but you're jacked. I can't hear you. What? So he was throwing the kids. And my dad looked very studly. And my woman said, like, oh, see, that's why it's genetic. You know, it's genetic. When I see your dad and I see you, it's genetic that, you know, you're the size you are. I said, have you seen the videos that my dad has sent? He's very proud of, like, belt squatting 700 pounds.
Yeah.
She said, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, of course. I said, let me ask you, when you've gone to the gym, have you ever trained that intensely? She said, no. I said, so every time that people like my dad and myself are going into the gym, we are training more intensely than you have at any time. That's the old Alexander Carolyn quote. I train every day of my life as my opponent never has a day in theirs. But people will then go, well, it's genetic. In some cases, it is.
Yeah.
In some cases, it's very, very hard fought. The only way that a young man develops self-confidence or self-esteem is getting really good at something. Men, comment below and tell me when you figured that out. Every man has had that.
Yeah, and you ever notice if women don't mess up their bodies, if they're not being made obese by their parents or sedentary as a child, women are just attractive as they are. You know what I mean? I feel like it has to be messed up. You have to dress masculinely or gain a bunch of weight or be sedentary, and then a woman will have to go on her arc to fix that. But I think that's the difference between men and women, is men might be a cute or like attractive kid or boy, but they're going to be boyish until they go through those defining male experiences. And I'd say the defining woman experience is getting pregnant and having kids, and why childbirth is so difficult.
Moment where you go, wait a second, I'm a lot better at this. I can do that. But until you experience it, until you go through sucking and getting better, and then eventually
like
looking back
journey.
and seeing the starting point and how far you've come, you will never have self-confidence. You will never have self-esteem. And you will always think that everything is outside of your control and you are a victim of circumstance. Spiritually, mentally, physically, there is something that you can do. And these aren't small things. These can massively improve your life to the point where if you do this for 1 or 2 years, just every day, read your Bible.
And like, what else are you doing? You know, like what else are you going to do besides try to improve yourself? Just be on a downward spiral?
And get stronger. Let's just do that. Read your Bible, meditate, pray. By that, I just mean, actually focus on things that are good for you. I don't mean sitting there and doing transcendental meditation. It could be focusing on one prayer. It could be mentally planning out your day, visualization, whatever. Read your Bible every day. Just call it 15 minutes a day. Work on your mind, do brain training, Sudoku, I don't care, and get stronger every week compared to the last. Do it for a year. See how much better your life is. Then do it for 2. And see if you even recognize that person from 2 years ago. But there are a lot of young men. There are a lot of young men who feel this way. And you know what? I don't blame them. It's not because these men have had tough breaks. Some have. It's because the world was nerfed for them. And young men cannot develop self-confidence.
That is super true.
Or self-worth by some do-gooder teacher.
Even think about what the athletic test used to be, the PE test during the JFK era compared to now. And they're like, oh, you could just opt out.
Removing the red.
DM Squid. Hello, DM Squid. I saw your follow before. My first time here. I like your stream so far. Oh, I'm glad you're liking it.
Red pen and saying, no, this is great. That doesn't work. That man needs to hear, that young budding man needs to hear, this is awful. You need to do better. They need someone who can encourage them, someone who can hold them to account and give them the tools to improve. Instead, we've removed those tools.
Yeah.
We've removed competition as though it's evil.
I think this is why we also need more male teachers in general.
We've removed all of the mechanisms that are needed to develop robust men who believe in themselves and are willing to fight for something. You have a generation of young men who don't believe in themselves.
Yeah.
And aren't willing to fight for anything.
But this is like that quote of why good times make, I forget exactly what it is, but basically like good times make weak men, and weak men make hard times, and then hard times make strong men, and then strong men make good times, and then it degrades again because it takes effort to become strong.
At all. I can't see any result outside of this. So this young man was a Marxist, Leninist, which of course lends itself right away to it's all out of your control. Someone else has to step in. Big government, big brother, daddy needs to save you, poor you. And by the way, none of it really means anything because there is no God. This is all purposeless.
Right.
That's the horseshoe. There's plenty you can do. Try it. Try it for a year. Come back and tell me it doesn't make a difference. This has been the solutions. By the way, thank you for the raid, Dan. Yeah, well, anything else that you guys wanted to add?
I just wanted to change the finish line too. Like the finish line for you, like the goal, right, is not marriage. That's something that we encourage for people and say that that is a good thing. Like you said, the Bible says a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. Mm-hmm. But your primary kind of relationship that you should be working on is with God. Yeah. And if you start to pedestalize anything, you put something on a pedestal that shouldn't be there.
And I feel like women can smell that, like blood in the water, desperation too.
God can do a lot of things to make sure that you don't mess that up. And so I'm incredibly grateful for the very difficult 20-ish years of being single without a whole lot of prospects during that time, where I did want to start thinking about marriage, that God did not allow that to happen because I was putting that on a pedestal. I would have done it completely wrong. I probably would have had severe difficulties. I probably would have picked horribly early on. And that was to my benefit. Right. Yeah. Until I started focusing more on God. Well, I need to just be like living my life. I need to be found faithful when you come. Okay. So that maybe I should apply that. I need to be found faithful whenever I meet my wife. I'm living life. I'm doing everything that God has asked me to do. I'm not waiting around thinking that life starts at marriage. I'm not waiting around thinking that somebody else completes me. Mm-hmm. Right. I am fully confident in God, my relationship with God. I'm doing what he's called me to do. And when the time is right, God will bring a wife for me, and I'm doing everything that I should be doing for that.
Right, because that's faithful. That's what's about reacting to your circumstance, and how you react to your circumstance being more important than the circumstance itself, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. But when you start to say, I'm only trying to achieve that, that's when it gets really out of whack, and people just lose all kinds of hope because of it.
Well, it's saying, it doesn't matter unless you're part of the... And by the way, statistically... We've talked about this. Women have crazy, unrealistic expectations, right? You can always bring up that chart. They rate 80% of men as below average, which is statistically impossible, whereas men rate women on a perfect bell curve. We are far more lenient, far more gracious, forgiving, and willing to give more women a shot than women are men. That's true.
And I think there's two reasons for that. I think there's the biology to that, right? Which is that a woman, when she's pregnant for 9 months, can only be pregnant with one baby. And so there's a lot of biological investment that goes into that. And so she better pick correctly, because that dictates who her protector is going to be during that time, if she's going to be provided for, safe when she's in a really vulnerable state. And so her sense on wanting to aim really high for a father, there is actually good reason for that. Women run off the rails with that, like they currently are, hypergamously, for very material reasons, and kind of letting that biology run rampant. But men can impregnate a lot of different women, so men generally have a lower standard of a woman that they're willing to find attractive or be with, because there's not the same level of investment. However, like I said, women can run too far with that, and there has to be some type of reasonable, women using that biological center to get some idea of standards, right? And hopefully it's not just feelings wise for a woman, but she's looking out at what would actually make a good father or a good husband, and not just aiming for material things, but on a character level, and then saying, okay, like I don't have to aim unrealistically high compared to my own attractiveness. I'm willing to go for a reasonable man because I'm prioritizing the right things. But where was I going with that? My brain isn't on full speed today, guys. Saying that. Oh, but I think I've heard this before, like in the past, from men, like IRL, you know, in different social settings, and that men sometimes demonize to the point of a fault some of women's preferences, or like things that women are in tune with, which would actually be good about confidence in a guy, or how he can provide, or whatever it is, and she's on to something. She might take it too far, but for men to go the opposite direction, and I've heard this before, of like, why do I have to look a certain way? Why do I have to take care of myself? Why do I have to, what's it called? Why do I have to change my dirty shirt? Why do I have to not wear a wrinkled shirt? Like, a woman shouldn't care about that. Like, I think that's to go too far and say there is something to the standard women bring. It's just about them not running off the rails with unrealistic, extreme, and extremely selfish version of that standard. That was a lot of talking to get that point out.
But let's accept it. Let's just accept that premise. Let's say you follow the solution, those prescriptions, and you don't find the woman you want. So you'll be stronger, healthier, more mentally resilient, and very likely wealthier, if at least professionally more fulfilled, personally more fulfilled, without a woman anyway. That sound that bad
Oh, also thank you for the follow, Darth Kirby. Nice to see you again.
to you? Or just sit and wallow. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean that I don't get it. I've told first gym membership, 12 years old, because kid called me titties. And you know what, Stone? I had titties.
He was right.
I had titties.
I did too. I wore shirts to water parks for a long time.
Not the brain with titties.
That's right. What were we saying, Noodles?
I was just gonna say nothing sexier to a woman than self-pity.
Yeah, exactly.
To find you sitting on mom and dad's couch eating Cheetos playing video games. That's what she's looking for, boys.
Right.
Well, people are giving up too soon also.
Way too soon.
Like with Keir Starmer, like there's no shame in quitting. You know, there should be shame in quitting. Like, you can't just quit early without achieving your goals.
It's like, it's all lost anyway. I get it. This idea, like, I will never quit. Well, hold on a second.
Ban makeup, see how that affects these charts. Makeup can look really good when it's done correctly, but I would say the vast majority of times that I see women wearing makeup, it is not. It is not. It is not doing what it's intended to do. Especially, I find it offensive when I see a very, very large and obese and not put together, like, frumpy and wearing a weird mix of clothes and then the woman has makeup piled on. It's like, I'm sorry. Putting a candle on in your house, if it's all cluttered and dirty, is not making this look good. Like, maybe you should take the time that you were putting on the makeup and, you know, plan out some healthy meals and go to the gym or something instead. I think that men also rank it that way. Like, if you're taking care of your health and you're healthy on the inside and you're taking care of your physical health and going to the gym, I think men would by far and away prefer that you don't wear makeup than prioritize makeup over your body and your hygiene and your health and all of those fertility markers, basically. Now, makeup can be nice, like I said, if you do all those things and you use it as icing on the cake, but you know, a natural look is always better. And a natural makeup look is always better than clown makeup.
It's already checkmate, right? I get that.
Yeah.
But people are quitting well before it's time to quit.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, okay, put it this way. Until you've read through the entire Bible once, I'll give you two things. Until you've read through the entire Bible once and you've achieved a 1,000-pound total, that means deadlift.
That's where Crowder was talking about the 1,000 pounds. That does seem high as a general prescription. Maybe if you're like over 6 foot.
Squat, bench press, 1,000 pounds. Until you've accomplished those two things, you haven't put in much work. Just that.
You know what actually I really hate with the makeup? It really irks me. The eyelashes, the fake eyelashes that get glued, which also, like, what kind of fucking toxic crap is in that? Glued or like magnetized to a woman's eyelids. Oh, that just always skews me out when it looks like their eyelashes are like those dolls. You know those baby dolls when you open and close their eyes, like when you move their head and they have eyelashes? That's what it looks like. I always thought makeup should complement a woman's face, not give her a new one. Exactly. Tech Daddy, heyo, how goes? Hello, Tech Daddy, how's it been? 90% of the girls that wear makeup are hideous, or their face become hideous from overusage or non-proper removal. Well, yeah, there's a lot of makeup that's filled with tons of chemicals, and women regularly have the experience of going without makeup for, you know, a week or however many days and finding like, oh, wow, my skin is way clearer now. And it's like, yeah, because what is all of that doing to you? Which is why apparently people think Gen Z is aging faster, because they are big on using all of their topical treatments and skincare actives and makeup, and that it's not doing good things for them.
Just give you the...
You just need to eat healthy, get some sunlight, and exercise, and don't be a slob, and take care of your hygiene, and then you will be a basic level of attractive.
Of course, there could be other metrics. There's a really simple one for mainstream American men. Read the whole Bible, 1,000 pound total. Can be achieved by pretty much all men within a year. Do that. Do those two things. Tell me your life's not better. All right. Speaking of genetic anomalies, John C. Reilly, he does have it written all over his face.
Got a unique look.
And I've realized, too, why the left, yes, he does, why the left, they really can't do very well in new media, because new media, you think, who I believe also had, was it?
Okay, I'm going to pause that one there. Let me catch up on some chats, and then I need to look at my notes and see what I wanted to include next. Thank you for the follow. Lord Horrendous, thank you for the follow. Let's see. Women, who's more attractive, men or women? Man, men, women, prove it. Man rubs his face with water, gives water to woman. Men have the superpower of inferring whether a woman looks good without makeup or not. If you kick yourself, you're hiding something. True facts, Narc Monkey. True facts. Earlier on Banana Juju talked about natural beauty and the C ring, how it messes you up, and natural beauty is always healthier. Wait, what's the C ring? Is that birth control? No, the hood rat eyebrows that fade from the middle. Oh, those are the worst. Or the lips that look like a fish lips. Like, I get having plump lips is attractive and everything, but like the lips where it's like if you kiss that, you're gonna get paint on you. Like, ugh, that just gives me the ick. That gives me the ick. Septum ring. Oh, yeah. Septum ring. Hold on. How does the septum ring mess you up? Does it, like, I obviously know the nose ring theory, but does it puncture your nose permanently in a way that makes you less attractive? Like, does it leave damage behind? Let's see. Well, I think they call it a C ring because it's shaped like a C, not because it starts with a C, I think. Where is my thing? Okay. We did that. We did that. We did that. Oh, okay. Now we're in for a fun time. Have you guys seen this video yet? They're shaped like an O. Okay, fair. But they connect. So if you open it, it's like a C, no? Inside New York City's dangerous fraudulent market confronted. This is like on Canal Street, I believe. I'm sure there's other markets than that. But yeah, I started watching this last night and then I stopped and put it in my notes for stream so that I'll be reacting in the moment and not have already seen it. No, we can just infer the kind of woman based on nose ring theory. True. The septum ring doesn't physically mess you up. It is just a cultural indicator of them belonging to the woke crowd, for reals. C for cow, maybe. The snot stick. Ew, that's so gross. Yucky. Okay, let's watch this Nick Shirley video about how far New York City has fallen. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay.
Everybody is entitled to live in this country, just like you.
Nobody's entitled to anything.
Like, yeah, nobody's entitled to anything. Heck you.
Right. You pay taxes here. Do you pay taxes here?
This entire
No. Did you see that when he asked her if she paid taxes?
corridor is full of people that do not pay taxes.
You stop selling drugs here, all right?
Who's selling drugs?
Also, I would be pooping myself to be out here amongst these people in these markets.
Yes or no, is this your rap sheet? Criminal sale of narcotics, possessing a controlled substance.
Welcome to Canal Street in New York City, an infamous location where you can buy counterfeit luxury items for cheap, and it used to be
Does it sound too loud to you guys?
just a few sellers, primarily the Chinese from Chinatown, and it wasn't that big of a deal. However, now the entire area has been taken over by African men from West Africa who came here illegally from years prior and have flooded the streets and break the law each and every single day.
Oh, I saw an absolutely disgusting video. I can't show it on stream because it was graphic and horrific, but I don't know where it was. Tommy Robinson posted it on his X, so go look at it. But it was some third worlder on a beach somewhere in Europe doing something absolutely disgusting in front of children and families, and nobody's doing anything, and the men aren't doing anything, and it is like, how is this happening? And nobody's reacting like this is a problem. Highly recommend you go watch that because I can't show you guys here, but I saw that right before stream.
As they defraud the American tax system and make it unsafe for women.
You're gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble? Yeah.
And now locals have to avoid the area as these men flood these streets, and they are making tens of thousands of dollars completely tax-free.
How much money does somebody make here on Canal Street selling fake Gucci?
I sell in 2 months. I make 20,000.
And as America's biggest city has become lawless, I have a history with these illegal vendors, as they once jumped my cameraman and I.
There needs to be a Discord. I'm sorry, not Discord. I just combined 2 chats. There needs to be a citizenship tax with 2 levels. Those who are citizens and then can't pay. These can stay but not vote. Those who never paid or can refuse, deport them. A big agree, Snark Monkey. Based. I was gonna say send in Discord by IDK if I want to see that. Well, I don't even know if I should send it in Discord because it's graphic, and we try not to get the Discord turned into like a age verification bullshit. So maybe just go look it up yourself on X, on Tommy Robinson's X. It was pretty recently. I hate what you have made me witness with my own eyes. I told you! It was horrible. It was absolutely disgusting.
They then got deported allegedly, and now are back on the streets committing the same crimes. And in a country where fraud is rampant and politicians keep wasting our tax dollars, it's only fair we confront and expose those that defraud the system. Welcome to the largest public counterfeit market in America. Things get dicey really quick. Here we go.
This right here is the grand finale of the Canal
I
Street
feel like he's gonna get stabbed by one of these crazy psychos.
battle that has been going on for months at this point. We have even tracked down to the locations where they are now storing all of their counterfeit goods. I have a history with these guys. Last summer, I filmed a video exposing the fraud and the tens of thousands of dollars that these people make.
Oh, I don't know how this would work, so tell me what you guys think about this, but I was thinking the other day, you know how the job market is so completely fucked? And I just saw something, I forget where it was, about some platform maybe getting sued or something for AI discrimination on who they're hiring. But the job market is insane. If you ever look at job postings, half of them look fucking fake. If you search them in your area, they come up with like weird shit from Indonesia, and you click on things and they don't exist. I've also been on the inside of organizations that say, yeah, we have to post this legally, but we're hiring somebody on the inside, but we have to post it. So imagine the people that waste their time applying to jobs that were never intended to be hired for in the first place. You have people applying to hundreds of thousands of job listings just to try to get something, okay? And then you can't get unemployment unless you got fired. So there's no pushback that you can have by saying, wow, this job really sucks, this company is horrible, I want to punish them by leaving, because you have no ground floor of getting out of an unemployment unless you get yourself fired. And if you get yourself fired, then they can say you did that on purpose and you don't get unemployment. And also, I don't really want bigger welfare programs, so I'm not saying we should expand our unemployment, but this got me thinking. Imagine, don't know how this would work, but imagine we imposed a tax only on the companies that are doing the awful hiring practices, when they post fake jobs, when they make you do work without getting paid just for an interview and then they turn you down anyways, when they post jobs that they were never intending to hire for, but they hire somebody from the inside, when they post fake jobs. I don't know if I said that already. When they keep job listings up all the time that they're not actually hiring for, just in case they need somebody in the future, all of that. Imagine we impose a tax on them on just doing those things, and every time they do it, we like rack up a what's it called? We rack up a what's it called? We rack up a hold on. We rack up sorry, I was dealing with something in chat. We rack up money from them, a tax on them every time they have one of those, what would you call it, violations of hiring practices, and then we take that money and that's what gets used for unemployment, and basically to be able to encourage people that if something is going on at a job or the business is fucked or whatever it is, that they have some leverage to be able to leave and go somewhere else and punish that company by not continuing to work there. I don't know. It would probably be really messy to do, but I think there should be there could be something there that could punish companies for this crazy market. And then maybe the incentive there would be, okay, well, don't post fake jobs. Don't make people do hours of work to not get paid just to get an interview. Don't do this AI discrimination hiring practice. Like, hopefully there would be an incentive for them not to do that in response.
Each and every single week, completely tax-free, defrauding Americans as they do not pay any tax on the money they're making. So you have ideas such as taxing the rich here or adding more tax for New York City. Meanwhile, they're letting other people that aren't even legal citizens of the United States make tens of thousands of dollars.
The amount of fake jobs that are posted is insane. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And scams, how many jobs like you can apply for, but it's actually not even a real company or just some type of scammy situation.
Each and every single week and completely tax-free. So today, this is the grand finale. We have Sweeney with us here, and we are going to the Canal Street Run Club today to see what is happening. Hoodies are available in the link down below. So quite literally on each and every single block, they got all their goods right here. And as soon as you leave the Canal Street station, you have people selling all these goods right here. Another person on this block.
I'm pretty sure this also is how it used to be in Europe, where people would go to countries like Italy across from Nigeria, if I have that correctly, and they would do tricks on the street and have you look up so they could steal your bags and sell you fake fraud shit. Like, this is just disgusting that this is widespread.
Another lady
or widely accepted. How is this okay?
Right here, you come out of the subway and they're right here. So you have them right here, another one right here, another one right here. Oh, what do we got?
Also, guys, just don't click anything in the chat because there's been a few bots on Kick with scam links. So I think I disabled it that you're not supposed to be able to send links on most of my chats just to try to avoid that. But if you see anything, don't click it.
AP?
No, no selling, no selling.
No selling? Why not? How much are you guys buying for?
We're not buying, just looking.
Just looking.
You're just
Alrighty. Wow, it is a busy day today.
It's packed.
It is a packed day.
And the Americans that enable this by trying to get their cheap ass crap that looks like designer. Like, what are you doing?
Or right here.
Yo.
How are you doing?
God, what's going on, dude?
Good, good. What do you think about all the counterfeit selling going down here?
It's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy.
Do you think these people should be able to sell these counterfeit goods out here?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I ran into that scamming situation, says Teddy Grizz, after spending the better part of a week filling stuff out for a guy. Something seemed off. When I contacted the place he claimed to be from, they had never heard of him. What? That's awful. I saw something else recently like that too. I think it was related to jobs, or no, it was the apps that you might use, like TaskRabbit and things like that, or babysitting apps where people will they'll put out a fake, what's it called? A fake listing, and then they get you to do some task for them, or like something with how they won't pay you, or fraudulent checks, something like that. But basically how there's fraudulent posts for tasks like that too. Thank you for the follow, Alistair Corbo. Thank you.
Oh, it's kind of, I see both sides of it because I've heard people talk about how like these people make a living doing it.
Like, what are we doing? This one is pushing it for acceptable use, but I'll let it slide, says Essence Thief.
These people aren't paying taxes.
No, that is messed up too. Because I mean, I lose 45% of my income to taxes right now. So yeah, I mean, it is pretty crazy, man. It should be definitely should be some regulation to it. I hear like the old governor tried to stop it and stuff, but then it just started. Once he was out of office, I hear it just started firing back up, and they stopped regulating it and everything. And yeah, just a vicious cycle, man. It's just feel like it makes the area just kind of trashy too. It just kind of brings down the area. Like
Kinda trashy. It's completely trashy. It looks like a third world country.
you can't move without people trying to stop you. You know, it just like makes it hard to enjoy your day. You know, go about your time and have a nice time here.
All the sellers have seen that we're here, and as soon as they see the camera, they turn their heads. Look at this. Look at all these goods. Wow, we got lots of stuff
It's
here.
like you turn on the light in an old garage and all the rats like scattle away. Or what's the word? Scatter away.
Today, huh? Louis.
Cockroaches.
Showcase it all. AirPods. How much? How much? Look, as soon as they see the camera, they start putting tablecloths over their faces. This is to a whole new level. I've never seen it with this many people.
Kick is under attack from scams. I know.
Block after block. It used to be a small little section, and if you guys can see here, this goes almost a mile, maybe 2 miles sometimes, left and right, northwest, east, south. And the city council recently released a report that if these areas were being taxed, New York City would have $1 billion back in its pockets. And you wonder why we have a budget deficit. It's because open air criminality like this and fraud happening on American streets is not penalized. And it's not the cops' fault. The cops have been...
They know, haha, says Cher.
have arrested some of these people 15, some of them 19 times. It's the politicians' fault. They will not pass legislation that criminalizes this behavior.
We have some more over here, some more right here, another man right here. What are we selling? How much?
What's that?
Why? What's wrong with us videotaping?
Yikes.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep running.
Yes, of course.
How would you feel if I take a camera and a video and go to North Carolina or South Carolina and those redneck cities and show?
Are you fucking kidding me?
What
I'm so sick of being talked down to by these people.
you do there?
Go for it.
No, how would you feel?
I feel just fine. I'm not
We
doing it.
feel fine because we're not doing anything illegal in our own country of origin. What the fuck?
Anything illegal,
I'm trying to
ma'am.
tell you.
Ma'am, how would you feel
What I'm trying to tell you.
every single one of your dollars
what
that
I'm
you make,
trying to tell
40%
you-
goes back to the government,
Listen,
and other people get it
what
for
I'm trying to
completely
tell
free
you
who aren't
is
even from here.
8 billion people in this world.
Yep.
Whether you white or black or Asian or Chinese, whatever you can be, we have to respect one another.
Amen. I 100%
That's what
agree.
this is. What is America is about.
Okay, well, coming into our country and either breaking our laws outrightly or abusing our systems is not respecting. Look at that face. I didn't mean to pause it there, but it kind of encompasses the feeling.
It's not taking your video and looking for people that don't look like you and try to put them
This has
down.
nothing to do with.
That's the other thing they do. We focus on something like what they're doing and their behavior or their belief system and why we don't like it, and then they say IE equals racist.
You
What you did,
being
how
black,
many
me being
times
white.
you did this? You did this over and over and over
Keep
again.
on doing it until
You
it's
go-
gone. We want respectfully. We want to do this until it's gone. It's got nothing to do with race.
Until you gone.
Why would I be gone? I'm a
Why would
taxpayer here.
anything else will be gone?
Because
Who
this
told
is-
you nobody else is paying tax here? Because you take your camera, you walking around.
Yes, ma'am. I'll
and
answer
you
any question
think that you are entitled to it.
You are. This is public property. You're entitled
No,
to film it,
so
just
is
like you can film me right
everybody
now.
else.
Of course, they are entitled to film me. If you want to film me right now, you can.
You're not listening to what
I'm
I'm
listening
trying
and
to say.
responding to what you're saying.
No,
I'm
you're
listening.
not.
I'm listening.
There you go.
Type it in for me. Yeah, I'm listening.
Now listen.
I'm listening, ma'am. What's your name?
What's your name?
It doesn't matter. My name
name's
don't
Nick
matter.
Shirley.
You came to my place.
This is your place?
So
This
now
is a public street, but maybe you don't understand that from where you come from.
I'm
My
talking
place as
to
well.
you.
It's his place
It
as
is
well.
your place
He pays
is-
taxes here. Do you pay taxes here?
Why the question? Why should I ask?
What do you mean? Why the question?
Answer you?
He asked
I
me.
just
I
asked you.
answered.
Do you pay
too.
taxes here?
I pay
What
taxes
give
here.
You, no.
Do
What
you pay
give
taxes here?
No. What give you the right to just walk to me
Ma'am.
and ask me if I pay taxes?
You came to me.
Let me do.
Because I'm an American citizen born in the US and you are engaging in what looks to be, by all account, illegal activity on a public street in my country. What the fuck?
Let me do.
This is what they
Let
want.
me do.
Respectfully, we're just having a civil conversation. If you disagree, that we're happy to disagree.
I didn't disagree or anything. I just think that y'all are enticing.
Yeah, I know. Would I take my
New law unlocked. Asking questions is illegal. They want to do that. That's why they passed the Nick Shirley Act in California.
I've heard it multiple times.
Would I take my camera and walk up to you
Which she approached us, and we're answering questions she might have.
Yeah, because you've been here
The irony of complaining that the U.S. is horrible while at the same time wanting to live here. Why not just move back to where you're from?
million times. I will give them the energy because they.
Ma'am, so for every dollar we make.
What is your name? My name is Sweeney. It's very nice to meet you.
My name is Awa. It's nice to meet you.
We have been here. This is our third time being here. Yes, I'm listening.
I'm trying to tell you that the right you have and how you feel is so is everybody else. We didn't came to a word. We didn't get to a point where I am entitled to walk up to this lady and tell her, do you pay taxes?
She literally just walked up to them. What is she talking about? This is like not worth the conversation. I understand why he should do it, and this is great that we can see it, but wow, I'm losing brain cells.
In America?
Well,
do you got a license for those questions?
Can you leave in America? Do I need a permission to leave? Do I have to answer you a question? Who are you?
Can I respond to that?
For instance, do you pay taxes here in America?
You just want to talk? I will answer you.
And would you have a problem with somebody asking you if you pay taxes?
Okay, I can respond to you.
I really would. The calm lady in the background. Yeah, I pay taxes. You can ask me if I pay taxes. Okay. Note that her argument isn't bad because of bad English. Her argument is bad because of low IQ and bad logic. People like this have no internal law. They are willing to say or do anything so long as it means that they can get theirs and get away with it. Yeah. That doesn't count, by the way, because I'm reading a comment. K Essence. That is literally First Amendment protected speech. I can ask anyone if they pay taxes. They don't have to respond, but I can ask. It reminds me with how Mexicans in the U.S. constantly talk about how great Mexico is. Yes, yet they want to live in the U.S. instead of trying to change their own country for the better. Yeah, that really irks me. I do like the honeycomb cereal guy is playing Supergirl now. Wait, what? I don't get that one. Really good, chef. I might just be out of the loop. How could she have that craziness in her mind? Basic NPC behaviors. Count it anyways. Count it anyways. Go directly to jail, Plains Crusader. Whose side are you on? I'll allow it, I suppose.
If you weren't doing anything illegal, you wouldn't be offended,
I wouldn't
right?
have no problem with it whatsoever.
The city council for two.
Yeah.
That's why they have a problem, because they're doing stuff illegal here.
Exactly.
Bingo.
What do you think about all the counterfeit selling that takes place here?
This is ridiculous. I think it's insane. Garbage, pollution, just mass consumerism.
Do you live here?
I do. I'm from Queens.
And how do you feel like as far as like the safety of Canal, this area?
No, I think it's overly congested. I think there's a lot of like shady things going on, and I understand people want to get things for a cheaper price, but this has to be regulated somehow. It's not fair to pedestrians.
The lady then came back and tried to make this a race issue when in reality this has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with what's right and what's wrong.
What's wrong with us being here?
People that don't look like you.
I just can't imagine this. I can't imagine going to any other country, be it somewhere in Europe or Africa or I don't know, China, whatever, in Asia. I can't imagine going to some other country, setting up shop there, likely illegally, breaking their laws, and then having the nerve to use their rights, their freedom of speech, to then get into arguments with their native people. Like, you know what would happen in China if you did something like this? Like, people are just way abusing our kindness in this country, and we ought to not let it happen anymore because this is just incredibly offensive.
Do you know about the First Amendment?
Stop making it race. That's racially divisive.
Race.
No, it's not. If you show me a bunch of white folks committing fraud in the street, I'll come right back.
Yeah, where are all the white people selling crap on Canal Street?
Unfortunately, I don't see them.
If all your videos you ever made, that you took the video in a camera and walk around North Carolina where they make
Where
they make that fake wine and ask.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? Is there some fake wine, some fake wine conspiracy massive market going on in North Carolina? Redneck wine? What is she fucking saying?
Them if they're paying taxes.
That could be a
Show
tax
me
video.
one of those videos.
Great. If you showed us where, that'll
you
be
would
his next
never
video.
because you feel like they are entitled to be in this country.
That's
well,
incorrect.
guess what? So is everybody else. We can be here
So is
anytime,
mine.
everywhere.
Spoke to
I
another-
bet she means moonshine. I didn't realize it was illegal to make moonshine. What does that have to do with paying taxes?
Donald Trump, that we don't need to apologize to be in America. Thank you.
Unless you're breaking the law.
Unless you're breaking the law.
Unless you're breaking the law. No one has to apologize for being America, but if you're breaking the law, there's a little bit of apologies that are owed. I'm not saying she is at all. I'm saying this entire
With your
quarter.
cameras.
No, he's not. This is public property.
Just got home from work and stopped my mom watching ABC and put you on instead. Time for some real news. Well, I'm honored, Hideki. She's talking about moonshine. Fake news. There we go. She is a leftist.
You should do
This
this
is
in
public
North
property.
Carolina.
This
Do
is a
this in
public
North
street.
Carolina.
She's an obvious deportable.
This is a public street.
Do it.
This is
Do it in
taxpayer
South
property.
Carolina, North Carolina, where the white people are.
Taxpayer.
And ask
Does she only think that white people live in North Carolina and South Carolina?
them if they are paying taxes. You would never do that.
Not yours.
How is he breaking the law?
What law is he breaking?
Hey, now they're gonna say these people are racist.
Everybody pay taxes. Everybody.
What law is
are
he breaking?
entitled.
What law is he
What
breaking?
law is
It's a
he
public
breaking?
street.
Answer the question.
Filming the people that didn't consent to it.
That's not illegal.
You don't have to
Yes, it
consent to
is.
it.
You're wrong again.
There's
You don't-
cameras all
Yes,
over the
you
street
do.
that you don't
You are.
consent
Yes, you
to.
are. Yes, you have
Do you
to.
consent to these?
Everybody
Do you
is
consent to the
entitled of
cameras
living
up
in
here?
America.
Do you
Just
consent
like
to
everybody.
Entitled of living in America. No, they aren't.
Cameras
What?
up here?
Just like you. Everybody is entitled to live in this country. Just like you.
Nobody's entitled to anything.
Like you.
You're not entitled
Just
to
like
anything.
you.
You're not entitled
Everybody
to live
else-
here.
Why not? You came from Europe to here.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
Ago, and they did it legally through Ellis Island, probably.
You did.
Really? What
If you
country did I
you're
come
great.
from?
Maybe Poland.
Nope.
Maybe France.
Nope.
Maybe Italy.
Nope.
Wow, racist. She's assuming his ethnicity. Oh my gosh.
We feel like living here just like you.
Were you born here?
If he didn't come,
Don't
his
racial
mother
profile.
or father or grandfather or great-grandfather came.
Are you
course.
racially
Guess what?
profiling me?
My racially people build this country.
My racially people build
Are you racially
My
profiling me?
racially people
So-
build this country.
So did ours.
Yeah.
So did ours.
And we feel the same, just like you. We are entitled.
Is she also conflating herself with African American lines descended from slaves that were here that did labor in this country? Because this lady seems like she's straight off the boat.
living here?
Of course.
Please,
All
and thank you.
citizens are entitled to live here. You're right. All citizens are entitled to live
If you
here.
did it legally.
Of course, if you did it legally.
Yeah, but they're doing it illegally. That's
Well,
why
of
they're
course they
upset.
are, but they feel as though they're entitled to break the law.
Black people
If-
didn't build New York. What?
If I went to France or I went to whatever country and I broke the law and I tried to say, I'm entitled to break the law, they'd throw my ass in jail.
This lady's saying that we don't have the right to film here.
Yeah.
How come you think she's saying that?
So, like, my opinion is that, like, a lot of these people, they come from countries that are completely different to what you and I believe, right? And, for example, the reason I go to Japan is for Japanese
What's his accent? Does he have an accent? Is it a light accent?
people. The reason that I go to China is to see Chinese people.
It sounds like a faded British accent.
And a lot of these people, like I said, we've proven time and time again that they're not compatible with the West. And we've seen certain ways how they act, how they believe, how they talk to us, how they treat the streets. And like I said, this woman screaming about not filming, she's bringing basically her beliefs from her country to here. She's not listening to what we do, but as you know, if it's the opposite, if we went to their country and did what they're doing,
Yeah.
we both know what would happen.
They'd
The same
probably
thing I saw
kill
your
you.
documentary with Somalia. I can't imagine what would happen if we went to Somalia and said some of the stuff that they say to us. We wouldn't last a day. And obviously,
Maybe he's a refugee from Britannistan. Probably.
you know that
Faded Scottish. Oh, I could see it. Something. It's like a little bit is in there.
your viewers know it. It's absolutely, this is the way it is.
At the end of the day, would you be offended if someone asked you if you pay taxes here?
Absolutely not, because that's the reality, right? Like if you're, listen, my favorite, one of my favorite quotes is, if you stand for everything, you stand for nothing. And that's what a lot of these people, bro, like the way they act, you can see day to day the way.
Oh, no offense intended, virtual. Hey, Ben. Hello to True Reality. Wow, that lady delete the 19th Amendment. Well, she probably would have that because I doubt she's here legally.
They treat our streets, the way they treat the people here, the way they treat like our environment, throwing trash, throwing rubbish, because
Yeah,
that's
they're
like
acting like fucking savages.
the reason they fled their societies, their countries, is the same like why are they coming here then? They're trying to bring their beliefs, their imposed beliefs from their past, that obviously their countries are destroyed for a reason, and they come here, they think, okay,
I
we're
don't
gonna
even
let's
think it's belief. It's like animal instinct.
add that
Unbridled.
those beliefs onto here, and it's gonna be the same exact thing, you know?
And because of the lawlessness that takes place here on Canal, you may think that these areas are not that expensive or this is not prime real estate. But if you pull up
Yeah,
a
probably stole $5,000 for a micro apartment.
map, the cheapest piece of real estate you're going to find here is $2.45 million, and it's going to range all the way from $11.5 million
Disgusting.
to $34.9 million for an apartment here inside of this area. And this is what the surrounding walls look like
This
here.
is max dystopia. There's something I watched a while ago. I think it was Love, Death, and Robots. Did you guys ever see that show on Netflix? But there was one episode where there was a cop and there was a singer lady, and I think they were together, and she was singing like very high up in this building, and in the bottom was slums, and it reminds me exactly of that scene where this is just maximum trash on the bottom, and then penthouse $5 million people living there.
Here inside of the
Although I don't know who would want to live here.
alleyways of Canal Street. And really quick, before we go back onto the main Canal Street, I want to tell you about the sponsor of this video, that is Opus Clip. What used to just be an AI clipper has now, and then I
Opus
select
Clip.
bulk scale Instagram as well.
I
And like
actually love Opus Clip, but move along.
actually, so go ahead. These windows right here, they're not these windows right here. They're not. Let's get back into the video. All right, so we've cleared out some of the section here on Canal. They have
I just can't believe prices get so inflated and there's still enough buyers. Maybe people are buying them but not living there, like just holding assets. I don't know if that even makes any sense. High theft robbery area. If I can live to 150 years old, I can afford land there. Somalians can definitely afford that.
left these windows right here. They're not here on the corner, but if you just keep going down a little bit more, they're still going. Right now they're packing up. They are packing up right now.
They're scattering in the light.
Look, it's like they're trying to run from the cameras or something.
Just a little bit.
We're not worried about the camera, man. We're not worried, man.
Oh, you're not worried about it?
Seems like
Can we ask you some questions?
What?
Can we ask you some questions?
I'm not answering any question.
All right, we're happy to talk to anyone. We're happy to talk to anyone.
Technically, he just answered the question about if he would answer a question by saying, I'm not answering a question.
We don't got any problem talking to anyone.
We're not worried about the camera, man.
You're not worried about the camera? He seemed pretty worried about the camera.
Maybe him, though.
Yeah, maybe him.
I'm not worried.
That's what's up. This is McDonald's. Right outside of McDonald's here, you can come get all the Gucci. Now this just goes on for
Also,
blocks
just
of all.
saying, like, who even like wears bags like that? As far as I know, it's like a known thing. Like when you see the random third worlder wearing a Giorgio Armani t-shirt or a Prada sweatshirt, doesn't everybody know that that looks trashy? I don't even know who buys this crap.
On blocks, you want the fake AirPod Maxes, want the Louis Vuitton glasses. You can get everything you want here. What can we buy today? Anything?
Nothing left.
Not today. They're saying nothing. Look at all this stuff. How's it going?
I'm doing fantastic.
Doing fantastic.
I watch you all the time, my friend.
That's what's up.
Hey, I am good for you. Good for you. You keep going. You keep going. You keep doing. You keep getting the good word out. Expose the fraudsters.
Are you buying stuff out here in Canal?
No.
No.
Nah, I'm buying real American products.
There you go. And what do you think about all these fraudsters?
Yeah. Honestly, that's money. It's money lost. You know, if
What's up? See, look, they freak out when you pull the camera on them. What do you think about Mondami, for instance, wanting to raise tax on rich white people here, or rich people?
He's losing all his money right here. This is money gone. If you want to take care of New Yorkers, you know.
The thing is, I feel like people still don't care, though. His base and everybody who identifies as a left-winger is just going to justify this.
There's money gone right here. Got to take care of it.
And why do you think
They're going to say, this is what the Italian and Irish immigrants did. Guarantee you this is not what they were doing. This is like of a whole different nature.
right now they're trying to tax the rich, for instance, here in New York City? Meanwhile, they're letting all this illegal activity take place.
Well, I mean, did you see what Hochul said? She's like, oh, they're not true New Yorkers, they're gone. I moved to Florida, you know, and I love it in Florida. It's absolutely fantastic. because I don't pay any state tax, and my house insurance, house taxes, a lot lower. So why would I want to pay a lot of the money that I work extraordinarily hard for to a city that just, throws it all away? I don't understand that anymore. Doesn't make sense. I don't care if you're left, right, center, whatever you are, just do the right thing.
And this is not the right thing.
There's no place that I should go in the US and wonder what country I'm in because I can't tell because of the people around me.
Not the right thing. This is not the right thing.
Right here you have the National Guard coming through, and you have all these people doing illegal activity. Let's see if these guys will fear the National Guard. I wish they would walk through there.
They probably
wouldn't do
won't
anything.
because they probably don't do anything.
So you legit have National Guard walking right here, but the fraudsters don't.
Irish immigrants were busy building that city. And as far as I understand, the Italians were opening up delis and shoemaking shops. And it was not like this. Yes, there's always been poor people, but there is a different nature of poor.
Don't even care. The National Guard don't even walk on the sidewalk. They just walk on the street because it's a lot faster.
Jesus Christ.
Now we're walking past Canal and we're going north on Broadway. Don't tell me it's always been like this. If you turn around the camera real quick just to show while I'm talking, it goes block
Just
after.
look at that. And people are living here, commuting here, and saying, it's the greatest city in the world. So fun. Everything is so walkable, guys.
After block, and it is because of open border policies objectively. And I'll give you one example. I know there's all this controversy around ICE. ICE came here and put out a van for one day, okay? This place was clear. Women could walk through without being harassed and catcalled. There was no one selling drugs. There was no crime. In one day, and then there was the reverberating protest against that. Why would you protest clean streets in New York?
Because they don't believe in anything mattering. They don't believe in countries mattering. They don't believe in borders mattering. It's their strategy for overcoming winners.
Tax dollars going to things that we desperately need. I will never understand that. It's absurd. And either that day or the day after, they arrested, I think, like 9 or 10 people. And if you look at the track records of the people that they arrested, almost all of them had a track record of either violence or drug dealing. And these are the people that you're protesting and wanting back out in these streets. It's completely un-American, no matter your skin color. It has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with tax fraud and the safety of American streets.
Look at the congestion all this counterfeit goods selling causes.
It's insane.
And also for the record, because I've seen a lot of Nazi shit recently that's very hateful towards whole groups, whole racial groups, which I absolutely have to condemn. When we're talking about this kind of behavior and we're aware of per capita and we're aware of IQ differences and all of that, that is never to say that the majority of any race is acting in a certain horrible way. That's to say if these proclivities are there and we have a culture that's set up in the first place to make a civilized society, that we ought to enact laws and follow through on them so that the proclivities, when they're acted out, are punished and are punished severely so that we can change the culture and we can change the way people act within those parameters. So just want to put that right out there now, because I've seen that a lot from doomer kind of black pillar Nazis that are just going to be completely wanting to sweep one race or the other off the face of the earth. And that is also the other side of the coin of this not mattering at all, is going that emotional direction that's hate-filled. But just saying, we could do a lot better by these people, by the ones that aren't bad, or by the people who come here legally in small controlled amounts, compared to this kind of situation and what it does to the rest of our country, which is why it is not wrong for a country to want to stay the majority culture and race that they were. Just saying, what are you, a leftist? I guess so, because when I criticize people for being Nazis, I get called a leftist, even though, that used to be more of the mainstream position, but they've allowed the leftists to totally take over that criticism, even when it's warranted.
Right now, this is the middle of the day on a Friday, right? It's almost an entire zip code, and the amount of people
Purple wolves must be deported. Hey, we're a native species in this country, okay?
People that send me, women included, small business owners included, that tell me they have to travel blocks around this area just to get in the subway because of this stuff. No taxpayer. We all work very hard. We're up early in the morning, we go to bed late at night, working our asses off. We should not live in a city There should not be a single inch of any city in the United States where taxpayers can't walk. They pay for those streets with their taxes.
Look at all that cash. What's wrong with us filming this?
These people who sell, too, like to put it into some perspective of just tax dollars, make something like $3,000 to $5,000 a day.
Doesn't count as for the record. I can't believe Ben would show for the Jews like this. Right, because the Jews are the ones importing these people, and they're the only one with these policies. And if we just didn't let them be in control and power, then none of this would happen. It's not like the leftists can think for themselves or have these communist ideologies all on their own that lead to the same ends. Of course not. LMAO, she took her 7K. There you go. I'm bought off, guys. It's all for a green card. Totally counts. Doesn't count. It definitely does count. No, heck you.
Do the math. That's one of them. Think about the breadth of that racket here in New York City.
Actually, the red wolf is native to North America. The purple wolf is most likely a cross between a red wolf and a blue heeler. Like how you thought out the genetic answer to that question.
First exposed this fraud, a lot of people were upset that I exposed this fraud. Just listen.
Powdur wags her finger at you. No, Powdur blocks criticism. That's what Powdur does.
This lady.
My husband showed me a clip of that kid, Nick Shirley, going around Canal Street antagonizing the men who are trying to just sell us some shit there.
Oh my God.
Wow. And you guys think I need to get a life? What a fucking loser.
What a loser. I have no idea what I'm talking about, and I'm just virtue signaling because everybody's just a good-hearted, poor little immigrant selling some stolen fucking shit or food from another country that I don't even need to fucking have, but I need to keep virtual I'm so glad I can't even get it out. Virtue signaling to my other dumb white leftist women friends.
That's all.
However, this is how women really feel who live in Canal Street. And
I'll not stand for Powdur slander. I'll sit for it, though.
I've seen the degrade for years.
So you're a native New Yorker here.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying this is an issue, but would you say this has just gotten worse over the years?
That isn't an issue? They're saying it isn't.
Yes.
Come on. They're lying.
They're lying.
Or they're blind. I don't know what.
And you as a local New Yorker, how have you seen this area change over the past few years?
You can't walk. I mean, if you actually want to get somewhere, you can't walk through that. I mean, there's always been people that sell on the street. That's fine, but this is like insanity.
It's
and
how
very
they're
aggressive.
doing it. They've completely taken over with their criminal activity.
It's just bad.
And slum lifestyle.
You don't even feel safe walking through that. And I don't really scare easily.
And do you know any of these people? Did you know any of them before this?
No, this is all descended on very quickly.
A lot of people find it fun to come here for tourism purposes because they can go and buy that fake Chanel, the fake Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah, that's always been. It's usually the Chinese that were selling them.
Didn't look like this when it was the Asians running Canal Street, huh?
So it used to be the Chinese, and now you have people from Senegal, Mauritania, Africa here.
Now, I don't know if they were doing it like legally or not when the Asians ran it. Virtual signaling, however, is fine. I was thinking that I was trying to say virtue, but my wires were getting crossed.
They were not here before.
No.
And have any of them ever said anything to you as a woman? Or
yeah. Yeah, it's gross, you know?
What do they say?
I don't really want to repeat it.
Really, it was that bad?
Yeah.
And how come you don't think anybody steps up and does anything about Canal Street?
Because they just want these citizens that live around here just protect these people and try to make it seem like we're doing a bad thing by trying to keep these people off the streets.
And do you think there'd be any issue with NYPD actually arresting these people?
Yeah, they should stay in jail rather than just coming out the next day.
What do you think about the catch and release last year?
Horrible. They should be in jail for a certain amount of time depending on like what crime they did.
Be thrown the fuck out of the country.
Nah, just getting out the next day.
Because if you
One-way ticket, goodbye.
arrest one of these men, they will then just come out here the next day.
Exactly. Literally the next day. We'll be right back out here selling.
Thank you.
From Minnesota.
Oh,
Love
amazing.
What you're doing. Love what you're doing.
Have a good one. So much respect from the people on the street, but the scammers, the fraudsters, they don't like me, obviously. So here on Canal Street, you have where they sell counterfeit goods, where they sell Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Chanel, and then you have the spot where they sell illegal substances. Graffiti, and a lot of these businesses are now for lease here on the street. Look, they just got bags full of weed.
Wow. Okay.
Look at that. All.
Is weed not decriminalized in New York? I thought that they did that for some reason.
Buckets full.
Now this is an area where me and my cameraman got jumped by a mob of these fraudsters who are not from America. They jumped me and my cameraman after we had filmed them doing a drug deal on the street, and then to my surprise I see the man once again here on Canal Street after he had already been arrested by the feds.
Oh my god!
Wait, no way. That guy got arrested by ICE and now he's back. I remember.
Of course. Perfect example.
How was the federal judge? So you got arrested by ICE and now you're back.
Yes, wow. Because you know why?
Why?
I'm a businessman and I have my own family. I have 7 kids in America. And you taking a recording at me for illegal.
Because you're doing stuff illegal?
No, you doing an illegal thing. Posting at my picture online and my video to make money. That's what you're doing. That's how you live in your life.
You're filming me right now.
Yes, because that's how, I'm not posting you online, but you posting me online.
These are the people that Alex Preddy and Renee Good died for. Literal retards.
Make money. That's how you live in your life. I don't live my life like that.
This is called journalism. We're showing people what's going on.
I have a restaurant and I do business. I sell food all day. Me and my wife is a family business.
And why do you sell weed here on the streets of New York then?
Who you got over there selling weed?
Look at all these guys.
Weed is legal.
No, you can't sell it in buckets full here on the streets of New York City.
But who's selling? Why I sell food, I say.
You sell drugs as well, remember?
What are you talking
Last time I was here,
what
before you got almost deported?
So right now, you fool me.
People like him having 7 kids are part of the problem we have too. Yeah, and then they send them to public school, by the way, and then they eat public school breakfast that's paid for by you, and they get free fucking diapers and childcare and free fucking healthcare. This is so infuriating. People, they have too many. People like us aren't having enough to counter them. Exactly. And then people say, why does it matter? Why does it matter though?
Yo, right now, listen, man, look, my guy, ain't no violence, okay? Oh, no violence, we talking, okay?
You guys aren't gonna jump me today.
So I'm saying, you recording a family man, hardworking man with 7 kids, 7 U.S. citizens, and you post.
Aren't you U.S. citizens though, or are those anchor babies? Are those illegitimate U.S. citizens?
It's in my face online, so people watching your video, my videos, my face off of your videos, and they're making money off of that. You making money off of my face. But why are you doing that? I have 7 kids, and they're going to school. My kids going to school, and
why
then
can't I videotape you on the street? Do you know what the First Amendment is?
But you posting it online. You're not supposed.
And birthright citizenship.
Let's do that.
Why?
That's illegal.
You're not supposed to sell substances illegally on the streets of New York City.
What's your name? Say it again. My name is Mohammed. My name is Mohammed.
So you're not supposed to sell.
Of course, his name is Mohammed.
Stuff illegally here on the streets of New York.
What are you talking about, sir? Let's go to my restaurant. You want to walk to my restaurant?
You walk to your restaurant?
Yes. You want to walk there?
Yeah, let's go there.
It's 89 Canal Street. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Di Salam.
Okay, then why do you guys sell drugs here illegally on the streets as well?
Who's these guys? That's not my business.
You sold.
There's no way this guy was born here.
Buckets of weed the last time I was out here.
That's me?
You were selling. You were right behind the bucket of weed.
I was purchasing my smoke. I can't have.
He just admitted doing a drug deal.
Have my smoke. If I want to use the cannabis,
go ask any of those guys.
So why are you using my image? My question is, why are you using my image to make money? I have 7 children. Why are you doing that?
I mean, it doesn't really matter if you were buying weed on the street in New York or not. Clearly, you should get the fuck out. This is ridiculous. Guaranteed this guy is here legally, had 7 anchor babies, runs a restaurant. Is he following the laws on that?
Why are you using my image?
We can film here on the streets of New York City.
No, I'm a hardworking man. I don't deserve that.
Jumped this guy, right? Isn't that what he got arrested for? Either he got arrested for the weed or he got arrested for jumping Nick Shirley. Either way, he has now broken at least two laws.
Just like how you're filming me, I can film you.
No, but you posting it online to make money, bro.
What's wrong with that?
You can do that.
You can't do that.
You can literally can.
That's it. Yes,
Maybe it's because you don't care to assimilate to our country at all that you don't understand these things.
No, you can.
Yes, you can. It's public property.
You're violating the civil rights, bro.
No, that's not your civil rights.
What the
Yes.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not. You
cannot put a family man, hardworking man, to make money off of it. And I have children. You have children. How old are you?
You know?
How old are you?
But I'm trying to answer your question. Okay.
So now he's working. Now he's working.
For me, no, working for him.
You guys are getting caught up in your life.
He doesn't speak English. Why are you recording?
Why is he trying to engage in the conversation?
That's online, bro.
I can film.
This is taking tax dollars out of New York City taxpayers' pockets.
What's taking tax dollars?
This entire corridor is full of people that do not pay taxes.
But this is not my business. I have no responsibility.
Okay, so what is your business? What do you do?
I do not care about his wife and kids. I want him and them gone. I completely agree. Get out of the country. Get deported. Stop abusing our system and coming here with your anchor babies to try to make some claim that you have citizenship rights when you don't.
Here, then why do you care if he's filming you? Okay, then why do you care if he's filming you?
We don't want your food.
No, he's posting my shit online.
Why do you care? If you're not breaking the law, what does it matter if he's filming you?
So you're in defense of these individuals here.
So do.
These guys are selling stuff illegally. They're selling weed out here, buckets full of weed.
Leave them alone. Don't knock the hustle.
Yeah.
Leave them alone. Like,
my point
they're doing
is,
nothing.
You'll shut down the block. I was just about to tell this dude.
Shut down the whole Thank you. And so this guy's saying he runs restaurants. Thank you very much. He's getting mad at me for filming. Look, he's getting mad at me for filming him, but he's saying he doesn't do anything illegal.
He's good in our city. He's good in every city.
I'm saying, he's posting my face online.
Sure.
Why he's doing that?
I can take a photo right now. And who is it different? Who's different?
4 million.
Why is it any
He's
different?
making 4 million views on my shit.
You want $1?
And I have children.
You want $1?
And they go to school. When they go to school, they say,
My kids go to school here, and I had anchor babies, and also I have children, and also he's making money off of also filming me. Okay, that's my argument. What?
I got like 50 kids. I got 50 kids and 50 wives. I got 50. Dude, no one cares about what you said.
Bro, you get a job. All I'm saying is dude, trying to get a job. Do something better in your life.
This is my job.
This is not a job, dude.
You get a job because what are the odds I find you here on this block 2 times?
Dude, this is not a job.
What's wrong?
You're good, no good. This is not
you get a job, you guys get a job.
I don't have any problem with y'all filming us.
You can film me all you want.
You can film me all day.
For me, no problem. It's good. Dude,
see, we can film all you want.
This is not a job. Yo, film me for me.
The problem is, I don't got any problem with it.
What's wrong? Why are you so upset?
Film me all day. Tag me, mention me. There's a difference. I'm not breaking the law, so I don't care if you film me.
Yo, you film me.
I can't even understand what you're saying.
All I'm saying is, bro.
This is not my business, not my responsibility. Damn, there was a 200+ page inquiry that just dropped covering this exact problematic statement leading to problems.
Go do something better in your life, bro.
Then what? Clear our streets? There's nothing better he could be doing with his life.
Nick has more patience than I would. Same here.
A lot of people, it's almost 100 people here.
What is that?
Keep in mind that these kinds of people will then complain about Western colonization, yet they're doing pretty much the same thing, but far worse. Much worse. Sorry, put a word in your mouth. Much worse.
It doesn't matter. They should. If you're breaking the law, you should not be here. That's what you don't understand.
Dude, you're trying to just take things to a different level. And
you're telling me these people don't break the law.
This is New York City.
What's your point? So should we allow theft and robbery and assault to happen because it's New York?
Don't force accusation. This is a false accusation.
I've never made a single accusation against you.
He did.
No, what he did was he came with a camera on a public street and he filmed a public street. He's a taxpayer.
But he's making a false accusation.
No, he didn't. He made a video. He made a video.
He
made a video.
Did you guys
You just said I was selling weed.
Yep, you were.
Yeah, but that's a false accusation.
You were right
there.
behind the weed bucket where they're selling weed.
You something else. You walking around with the camera accusing people, bro. That's not good, bro. Do something better in your life.
So what are all these individuals doing here?
Listen, do something better in your life.
He's doing God's work. He's a patriot.
Western colonization improved their homes. Theirs is doing the opposite.
There's nothing better he can do with his life.
There's a lot of good stuff out there to do in your life than what you're doing right now.
What would you like me to do?
Let me tell you something.
Work on your. You have no degrees. You went to school. Have you got educated?
I do have a degree actually.
Yeah, so what you use your degrees for?
I show people what's happening here inside the world.
What do you do? What's your degrees?
He's a journalist.
He's not a journalist. He's not a certified journalist. Since when?
Certified journalist? Not a certified journalist.
Certification to be a journalist. You need a camera and some balls.
Oh my goodness.
You stop selling drugs.
Listen,
you stop selling drugs here, all right?
Who's selling drugs?
Oh yeah. Look at all this stuff. Look at if I looked over that bag.
So whose shit is that?
What's the grinder?
His right there. Right there.
Right there.
And who do you hang out with?
Who?
Who do you hang out with? And who are you hanging out with?
What
all
do you
these
mean who I
individuals.
hang out with?
Look, you are who you hang out with.
He turned Japanese there for a second.
Food.
You don't not delivering
food. Yeah, fool me. I'm a hustler. Fool me.
Okay, good. I don't understand you.
No hustler.
Listen,
I'm a restaurant. I'm a restaurant.
Your restaurant's not here.
He's a restaurant.
I'm a restaurant.
There's no restaurant right there.
Yeah, restaurant right here.
I
go
wish
to your
I
restaurant.
had
People are
a
waiting
face palm emote on my list of options here.
for you.
Brother,
Go to your restaurant.
it's my brother. For me, I'm hustler for me.
A facepalm, I meant a facepalm emote like that I could do with my model, not an emote in chat. I do have a facepalm emote in chat, I believe.
Why are you so angry at us for filming on a public street?
Listen, I'm not angry at you. I respect you as a human. I respect all humans.
You guys didn't last time because they jumped me and my cameraman.
Whoever jumped you, I never touched you. I never did touch you. If I touch you, you know you're gonna be wrecked, man.
He just touched him right now.
You know, I'm not gonna fight you. I don't fight. I'm not a violent person. You understand me? We don't do violence.
I beg to differ, but
okay, we
off
don't
of
do
our
no
last
violence.
interaction.
What you need to do is chill with this
that you're back
camera.
here on the street.
Chill this camera. What do you mean you're surprised I'm back on the street?
Well, because I detained you, but apparently you have the right to be here. So great for that. I'm happy you're here, and now I just asked for you to not be selling drugs here on the streets of New York City.
Nobody is selling drugs here. Don't make up. It's a makeup thing, bro.
Then what was that
lie.
bucket of weed
Look, these
when I
people
approached
do,
you last
you see
time?
this what they do, the vending. This is what we do here.
No,
listen
sir.
to me. Listen to me.
Yes.
You listening to me, or are you
I'm
listening to me?
I have video
Everybody
footage of
over here
buckets
trying
of
to
weed.
survive. Listen, everybody just trying to survive.
Okay, you don't just get to do that anyhow you want in a country that's not yours.
That's what they do over there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Is your name Mamadou Ndoye?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes or no, is this your rap sheet? You said that you don't sell drugs. I'm asking you, I'm not making any statements right here. Recklessly endangering, these are previously arrested crimes, counterfeiting third degree, unauthorized use of... Who's talking to you, dog? Back off. Everything's my business. Unauthorized use of motor vehicle, criminal sale of narcotics, possessing a controlled substance, possession of marijuana for sale, making false
that's
reports
not
law
me.
enforcement,
Listen,
and
you got
resisting
5
arrest.
pictures here.
Okay, but I'm asking you, is this not you? And is that not your rap sheet?
No, that's not me.
Listen to me, listen to me. Wait, listen to me.
So mine's right there. Yeah.
So, my
So
brother,
this is
what you want?
different
You want me to
people
go
in
back
there.
home?
Okay, well, keep
So
going.
what do you
Is
do?
that I just asked you.
You guys have nothing better to do. You ain't just sitting over here.
So you just let me just
Of course. Where?
I'm asking you if this is your picture and this is your rap sheet. That's a question.
He kind of looks like he's wearing the same jacket in the picture. I can't tell because it's blue.
That's from Homeland Security right there.
That is a rap sheet.
There's some emotes in Twitch that you can use. I need to add some to Kick, but there's some Ven emotes in Twitch chat.
You're gonna track me, and you're saying you're here not breaking any laws?
How long I've been in America?
I'm asking you. This is a question. Then you answer that part.
Over here, bro. What are you talking about?
Is this your track record?
No, that's not
Okay,
mine. No.
interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. So this is
Okay.
all false.
So what's
from
your name,
the
then?
Department of Homeland
No.
Security is
Okay.
making
So
false
what's your
statements.
name?
Interesting.
My name's Nick Shirley. What's your name?
Puppy. My name is Spec. Mohammed. Mamadou. Yeah.
So that's not. Can you film that? That's not your track sheet.
No.
That's not your rap sheet. This is false.
No.
Then we'll serve a correction.
bro.
Right?
No,
We'll send the Department of
bro,
Homeland Security.
no.
If this is false,
No.
figure it out. None of that.
Yeah.
That's not you.
Yeah.
No, not here.
Interesting. Interesting.
Hold
That's
up,
not
hold
your
up,
rap
hold
sheet.
up, hold up. Muhammad. So you're trying to say this is not you?
No, touch him for you.
You're trying to say that is not you,
Not touch
Muhammad?
him. Not touch him, bro.
That's not you. This is him right here. Mohammed, so this is not a bucket of weed right here that you're standing next to, selling here on the streets of New York City.
Twitch and Discord aren't deserving of money. I need to add them to Kick too. Apparently do not care about freedom of speech as you block people for nothing. Wait, Caleb, what is that in response to?
Yo, boy, I knocked the shit out of him last time.
Yeah, you did. That was you. And now you guys are back here selling stuff illegally. Look at this. The feds aren't even doing their job.
You gonna stop shit?
The feds aren't even doing their job. They arrested you guys, now you guys are right back here.
Yeah, right back.
Right back, selling stuff illegally, huh? How do you contribute to society here, huh? This guy jumped me last time here on Canal Street, and now he's back doing stuff illegally once again. They don't see any problem with that. How do you contribute to society here in the United States? Do you work hard, pay your taxes?
Yeah, I do. Get sent away to other countries.
And then these guys right here selling stuff illegally. He's once jumped my own cameraman, and now he got arrested. Now he's back here on the streets of New York City doing it once again. Never got arrested. So they just put you in jail and release you the next day?
Probably.
Yep, that's crazy. Look at that. Wild stuff, man.
He's just got an honest weed restaurant. His children will one day inherit the family business.
New York City streets really are just lawless. Those are the guys that were arrested by ICE, and now they're back here on the streets. Either the feds are making stuff up, or they're not doing their job. And NYPD obviously is not doing their job because their track records are right there.
Well, my thing is this person, right, say he was let out. What my question was to him, and it's not a statement, is I just read off the Department of Homeland Security, his rap sheet, right? So let's say he was let out and there was a legal basis for him being let out. okay? That doesn't change the fact that he has a rap sheet longer than a track meet and is a categorically dangerous person. I'm sorry, if you sell drugs and you resist arrest and the whole litany of charges, provided those are true, I don't know, I'm reading it off the Department of Homeland Security, you should not be, and no one should be happy that that person is let back out on these streets. And if you zoom out, which
I just fucking noticed their hoodies. That's great. Nick Shirley should set up like a hoodie stand and all of his merch on Canal Street.
no one tends to do here in this crazy city, they're realizing that resisting me and you is encouraging criminality here. It's absolutely insane. People like that should not be out on the streets. In fact, if you break the laws here, and I'm just saying if, you should be deported. That is not a race-based issue. If you're from Ireland,
And if you're just here illegally, you should be deported just for that alone.
if you're from Serbia, if you're from Italy, just like if I went to one of your countries and I broke the law, get my out of there, and I can't come back. That's not a radical opinion. That's not a Republican talking point. That is rationality and common sense, and I'm sick of anyone telling me differently.
Now, all these fraudsters have to store their counterfeit goods somewhere, so after much investigation and help from locals, we found the location where all the fraudsters hide and store all of their counterfeit goods.
So this is allegedly where they're storing all the counterfeit goods here.
Yeah, so during the day they're out there
What?
selling, but afterwards they bring all of their carts, and maybe 100 of them come right here to Manhattan
What the
Mini
heck is
Storage,
this?
what you could find online, and they bring all of their carts of counterfeits and illegal contraband, and they rent out these units to store them here. So the question really becomes is like, why do these businesses contribute to this illegality?
Well, obviously the businesses do it because they're making profit off of it, but they should absolutely be shut down for doing this.
And to
This is the stuff that I criticize the Trump administration for on, where I want them to come in with the feds and take this over and say, oh well, you're calling us king anyway, you're calling us authoritarian anyway. Let's actually use the power of the federal government to stop this nonsense.
plead ignorance is absurd. You've got 30 or 40 people here sometimes with all their carts and wares, and it's obvious with a fake Louis. You can't just turn a blind eye to something like that. This is the extension of that criminal enterprise. Here we are, it's 260 Spring Street. It is called Manhattan Mini Storage. And allegedly, right, let's use that qualification, this is where all the scammers on Canal Street come in the mornings and the evenings to store all of their wares, okay? And one of the things that bothers me so much is you've got receptionists here, you've got employees here. If you are going to see huge bubbles of 40, 50, 60 people coming with carts on a timely basis every morning and every evening, and there's blankets covering the contraband, and you don't want to raise a question at all, you are absolutely complicit in this. You can't just plead negligence, okay? What if there were dead bodies in that? What if that was
Yes, there
fentanyl?
probably
To
are.
suggest that you just have no idea what's
happens all
going
the
on
time with
when there's
storage
these
units.
huge congregations of people coming directly from Canal Street is absurd, and no American with brain activity would believe that.
But also, why would you stop it if you're making all the money from it?
Exactly. I mean, that goes into it, right? It's
So this is the spots, and this is all the money. Why would you stop it if they're making a lot of money from it?
That's exactly how many people benefit from this, right? It's how many people are out there every single day, how many storage units are there. It just goes on and on and on. And if anyone wants to do this yourself, right? If you have a camera and a little bit of gumption and you want to stop New Yorkers from being robbed, come here in the early
Until
morning
they make
hours
a
and come
law
here in
that
the
says you
evening,
can't
and
do
you will
it.
see just enormous crowds of illegal contraband, just stealing tax dollars from us, coming right here.
So there you have it. They bring all their stuff here into this storage unit, and now the battle on Canal continues as the feds didn't even do their job
I
of
wonder who this guy is that was with him. He was great.
arresting and deporting
seen him before.
the violent illegal migrants.
It's just the America we live in, but we do not have to live like this.
And that is the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out.
That was a good one. Infuriating, but a good one. If you're not already subscribed to Nick Shirley, go subscribe to him. His videos are fantastic, upsetting, but necessary in our day and age. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I have just a few little tweets to cover, and I think some videos in the tweets. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Sniper scope is locked and tight, piercing through the fatal light. But then I wander off the track, there ain't no turning back. Gummy bears, a bitter plight, they ruin everything so bright. Yeah, this purple life I lead, planting every digital seed. The body cam flickers on the beat, but feeling every fan's need. Chappies cheer when things go wrong, singing out my favorite song. Oh, Venatrix lost inside the fray, through Mass Effect where the moments stray. Purple wolf heart beating strong and true, scuffed up streams for me and you. They try to paint her line by line, make the perfect form divine, but she's a glitch, a beautiful mess, causing digital distress. Nautic sighs. Yeah, Venatrix cries.
Venatrix in the chat, neon eyes on glow. Big bad wolf, VT feet on flow. Avatar sharp, got the crowd on lock. Every bar silver fang when I chomp that talk. They twist my words, try to spin that thread, but I bite through cap, lead the lies half dead. I don't chase cloud, I just chase that truth. Mic check, muzzle off, I'm the young cage proof. Timeline twitching when I drop my views, cause I don't bow down, I just break fake news. They gaslight ghosts, right, sell that spin, but my pack see clear, we were born to win. Venatrix in the chat, neon eyes on glow. Big bad wolf, VT feet on flow. Avatar sharp, got the crowd on lock. Every bar silver fang when I chomp that talk. They twist my words, try to spin that thread, but I bite through cap, leave the lies half dead. I don't chase cloud, I just chase that truth. Mic check, muzzle off, I'm the young cage proof. Timeline twitching when I drop my views, cause I don't bow down, I just break fake news. They gaslight ghosts, right, sell that spin, but my pack see clear, we were born to win. I'm the wolf on stream, Venatrix online. Hardcore takes when I lay that line. You can lie all day, but the fog won't stay. Every fake little flame gonna burn away. I howl that fact, let the echoes fly. All the gaslit games always fade and die. When the teeth hit truth and the light hits sky, all the noise falls quiet when the wolf walks by. I'm the glitch in the script, break the prefab lies. No puppet on a string, I retract those ties. They frame that narrative, call it just a joke, but it smells like fear when illusion gets smoked. You can clip that stream, twist context again. Still the real shine bright through the pixels and skin. I'm a beast with receipts loaded up on file. Put the mask on blast with a savage smile. I'm the late night raid on the false front page. Every bar that I drop, break a gilded cage. From the back of the pack to the alpha stance. When I spit, whole scene get a second glance. I'm the wolf on stream, Venatrix online. Hardcore takes when I lay that line. You can lie all day, but the fog won't stay. Every fake little flame gonna burn away. I howl that back, let the echoes fly. All the gaslit games always fade and die. When the teeth hit truth and the light hits sky, all the noise falls quiet when the wolf walks by. No script, no leash, no PR chain. Just a lone dark wolf in the day to rain. They can smear my name, I don't break, I climb, cause the real don't ride on only frauds lose time. I'm the wolf on stream, Venatrix online. Hardcore takes when I lay that line. You can lie all day, but the fog won't stay. Every fake little flame gonna burn away. I held it fake. Let the echoes fly.
Okay, I'm back. Did I miss any good chats while I was gone? On the lighter side of life, I'm making a beef stew minestrone hybrid today, prepping while I listen to stream. Oh, delicious. Okay, we're going to look at what's going on in New York City with their new senator that they just elected. Let me just change this really fast. Sorry for the loud typing. I'm trying to work on my updating stream info live in the moment. I think it helps with discoverability. So we're working on. Oh, great. That's not what I wanted to say. Close enough.
At Ace Zero Spades super chatted $2. Welcome back, Ven. Smiley face emoji.
Thanks for the $2 super chat, Ace of Spades. Thank you. Nothing beats typing ASMR. Okay, let's. What is Rala doing now? You want a Zyn? No, I don't want a Zyn. Aren't those things bad for you? Aren't they? Or are they just nicotine? Actually, to be fair, I actually don't know that much about them. But I was under the impression they weren't great for your health. Okay, let's switch to this. Where is? I have a lot of tabs on this one. I wanted to read my tweet. Where is it? No! Hold on. We have to pause for a second because this was essential that I show you guys this. It was really good. Hang on. Let me just grab it from my other tab. And then I will show you. Perfect. I got it. I got it. Copy. And let's paste it over here. And then I'll show you guys. Okay, this was from, I actually have no idea who this was, but the tweet itself kind of speaks for itself. This guy, Dan Bermawi, I guess, like I said, don't know who he is. He says, the left and Islam, these two ideologies should be at war. One claims to fight for feminism, LGBTQ rights, secularism, and equality, while the other is rooted in medieval theocracy, submission, and absolute control. Yet, they formed a perfect symbiotic relationship, using each other for power, influence, and the destruction of Western civilization from within. This is very timely. For the left, Islam is a weapon. It is the ultimate tool to dismantle Western values, weaken national identity, and push their own radical agenda. They don't care about Islam itself. They exploit it, knowing that the ideology carries a powerful victim narrative that they can weaponize against their political enemies. The left thrives on oppression narratives. Islam, with its deep-rooted sense of historical grievance, fits perfectly into the intersectional hierarchy of the oppressed. The left despises Christianity because it upholds traditional morality, but they need a battering ram to dismantle it. Islam, with its aggressive opposition to Christianity, becomes a convenient ally. The left knows that Western-educated, patriotic voters won't buy into their radical agenda. So, and this describes everything that we're seeing, they import millions of people from Islamic countries who are more likely to vote for big government, hate Western traditions, and demand tolerance while refusing to assimilate. The more chaos, the better, because a broken society is easier to control. The left thrives on censorship. What better way to shut down debate than by labeling any criticism of Islam as hate speech? The left uses Islam as a shield, calling any factual discussion about jihad, Sharia, or terrorism racist. But Islam is not a passive tool. It is using the left just as much, if not more. While the left believes it is controlling Islam, Islam is infiltrating and manipulating the left to expand its dominance. Islamic jihadists understand that they don't need a military conquest to take over the West, they just need to infiltrate. With left backing, they gain positions in politics, we're just about to see that again, media, academia, and law enforcement, where they can quietly reshape policy in their favor. But the left wants you to think that you're just upset that they put a little girl wearing a hijab in a children's book, that it's nothing more than you just being racist against other people in society. The left's opposition will open borders and the left's obsession with open borders and unrestricted immigration is Islam's golden ticket. Once a Muslim population reaches a critical mass, it doesn't assimilate, it dominates. London, Paris, and Sweden's no-go zones are the results of Islam using democracy to establish enclaves where Sharia law reigns supreme. Islamic jihadists have learned to disguise their theocratic ambitions under the language of human rights. They attach themselves to LGBTQ movements, feminist causes, and racial justice protests, even though Islam itself stands against everything these groups claim to support. It's a calculated move: gain leftist support, then turn against them when power is secured. The left believes it can control Islam, but history shows that every time Islam allies with a non-Islamic force, it ultimately turns against its so-called allies. The communists in Iran learned this the hard way when they helped overthrow the Shah in 1979, only to be executed en masse by the same Islamic jihadists they had supported. Then reading in her teacher voice, you know nothing. The same fate awaits the left. Radical feminists think they're empowering women until they're forced into hijabs. LGBTQ activists think they're fighting for equality until they're thrown off of rooftops. Socialists think they're creating utopia until they find themselves living under the caliphate. It'll be different this time. Islam is not here to be anyone's pawn. It is here to conquer, and the left, in its blind hatred of the West, is paving the way for its own destruction. Had to take a swig of water after that one, but yeah. They should ask members of the Tada, I don't know how you pronounce that, party in Iran what happened after the Mohammedans took over, if they can find any still breathing. Muslims and leftists both thinking the same thing. They're useful for us now. When the revolution comes, we'll backstab them. Yeah. Okay. So that kind of sets the stage for what I'm going to show you with the senator that was elected in New York. Mamdani endorsed Aber Quas won the Democrat primary tonight for a state Senate seat in New York. Here she is saying that 9/11 was America's fault because of our system of capitalism, racism, white supremacy, and Islamophobia.
Finding that the system of capitalism and racism and white supremacy, etc., and Islamophobia have all been used, to colonize lands, right, to take resources from other people. And so this is like a long trajectory, and we're just seeing the manifestations of that continuation, right, with 9/11. And so a lot of times when people are asking us to respond about, attack, right, if you look back, historically, right, a lot of us come from lands that were colonized, lands where wars are being waged, right? And a lot of times because of U.S. policy.
How about you get the fuck out of our country?
And so I find that we can connect over that, but then also that the idea that we have to apologize for a terror attack that a couple of people did, and then there is no apologies or reparations for
it's under your religious belief system.
Genocides and for slavery, etc., is something that I kind of find reprehensible.
And that's reprehensible. Okay, so there's that. And then it says, was there a different one? There may have been a different one too. Did I do that? Was there multiple getting elected? I thought I just saw that one chick. Shit, I think I was mixed up and it's even worse than I thought. This is Daria Liza Avila Chevalier. Just won the New York 13 Democrat primary. Mamdani endorsed her. She said she has a defund the police and mask on. And she said, I forgot to get napkins, so I just wiped my hand on the American flag behind me. So that's people that were electing to office in this country. Yeah, this is the same chick. Dara Liza Avila Chevalier, if I'm saying that the right way, is the founder of CUAD, the org's stated goal, eradication of Western civilization. It says, we are Westerners fighting for the total eradication of Western civilization, not even keeping the quiet part quiet this time. We stand in full solidarity with every movement for liberation in the global south. Our intifada is an internationalist one. We are fighting for nothing less than the liberation of all people. We reject every genocidal eugenicist regime that seeks to undermine the personhood of the colonized, except for doing your colonizing here? As the fascism ingrained in the American consciousness becomes ever more explicit and irrefutable, we see community and instruction from militants in the global south who have been on the front lines in the fight against tyranny, and domination, which undergird the imperialist world order. Guys, we really are heading for another crusade, aren't we? And then, same chick, saying the quiet part out loud. She's hoping to reflect Islam in the halls of Congress. This is the quiet part out loud. She just won the Democratic primary, like I told you. They're conquering us before our eyes. Let's listen to this.
Representative, I know that we all deserve a representative who isn't bought by AIPAC. I'm also the only Muslim in my family. I reverted 3 years ago. Actually, the friend who pushed me to do it asked me, why have you fasted for 4 years and yet you haven't taken your shahada? She's here today, and when she asked me that, I thought, that is a great question. And I thought for myself why I hadn't taken the step yet. But it was seeing how all of my friends who were showing up to organizing, who are Muslim, were showing up in the space, and the grace and love and passion that they had in these spaces of social justice, that really pushed me to join the faith. And wanting to make sure that we are reflecting that, I'm reflecting that.
Like, why don't you tell us? Why don't you tell us about what Islam says about having sex with underage children?
In every space that I'm in, and that, inshallah, if we make it to...
Why don't you tell us how old Muhammad's wife was when they consummated the marriage?
To Congress, that we're reflecting that in the halls of...
Why don't you tell us that they have subversiveness built into their religion?
Power as well. I know that we...
Okay, peace and love. Okay. Islamists and communists are taking over New York City. I can't believe there was 2 of them. I thought it was only 1, so it was far worse than I thought. The financial capital of America. It's genuinely sad and terrifying. People need to wake up to this. This is exactly how empires fall. And then, let me make this smaller so you can see. She is holding a Hamas headband while she's here. This is not the chick I just showed you, but the one before, Aber Quas, everyone. In this video, Aber Quas was running to be the first Palestinian Muslim woman elected in New York State. Literally explains how the 9/11 attacks killed nearly 3,000 Americans were a manifestation. That's what I just showed you guys. A manifestation of America's system of capitalism, racism, white supremacy, and Islamophobia used to colonize and steal resources. New York is doomed. I don't know what you guys are talking about with nicotine. I missed that, but doesn't sound like you had a good time, Rolla. Okay. I think that was all on that I was going to show you guys. So it's disturbing. Like, they're doing it. They're here. And the leftists are like, oh, look. Diversity. We get to have differently dressed people in our children's books. So cool. So loving and clever. It doesn't matter what their religion actually thinks. It doesn't matter how they treat women. Who cares about that? It's diversity. Yeah. So there's that. But we are going to, I have a few other things, relevant news and opinion related things on politics that I'm going to put in Saturday's stream. and save those for then. I'll be streaming Saturday at 2, just like today, 2 PST, so whatever time that is for you guys. And we'll be covering a bunch more, maybe playing something and having a good old time. But I'm going to end stream there for today. But thank you for chatting. Thank you for counting my so you can make me a better wolf girl, woman, VTuber girl. Thank you for the super chat, Ace of Spades. And thank you guys for just watching and hanging out. I'll see you guys all soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Every breath feels heavy when the truth is treated like a crime. Living honest in a world that forces you to toe the line. They twist the words, they sell the fear. They keep the masses blind. But deep inside the fire's growing, and it's burning through my mind. Purple flame is rising up, no more bending to that game. Anger turns into rebellion, and the rebellion calls my name. Sick of the poison, sick of the chains they wrap around our souls. We've carried this way too long, now we're ready to let it go. We're coming to life, turning the tide in this crusade for truth. We're coming to life, Chuppies rise together, armed to the teeth with proof. They attack the pack, try to bury what is real, but they're in the vendor now, and they're gonna feel the steel. We're alive tonight. The sword of the word cuts through the dark, lies are being snuffed out. Truth rises up, no more hiding. Hear the righteous shout, alive, alive. God is on our side. They thought they could break us, but the hope inside is louder. Turning the tide in this crusade for truth. We're